Hello, and welcome to #Bombs Launched, also used to be known as the Giant Bomb Community Podcast. I'm Believer, and I'm joined by Red and Black.
When I was dead broke, man, couldn't picture this.
Arclight Borealis.
Unite Podcast.
And we're supposed to be joined by Fat Mac, but he seems to have become a mute protagonist recently. So, what's been going on, y'all?
Games. GTA.
As much games as I can play in between doing schoolwork and shit, but yeah, games.
It feels good to be like playing a game that's like totally in the, the cultural zeitgeist, the in the culture of the moment, like have everybody on the internet all talking about the same game. It feels good. It's been a while since I've played something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that was happening for me.
That's actually part of the reason I went out and pre-ordered it and spent $60 on this game just to get on forums and talk about it.
I mean, we don't do that as often now. Like, I guess BioShock Infinite was the last one like that.
People talked about Last of Us.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And there was quite an active thread SMT4, but
Last of Us was weird because it was like right around E3 though.
Yeah.
That is true.
We probably need another E3 just to distract everybody from the stupid sexism threads. Just E3s every week to keep people away from that particular topic. No.
I would probably quit the internet at that point. I don't know how much E3s I could handle at once.
I don't know.
I feel like video game sexism threads are approaching like 20% of all internet productivity now is dedicated to video game sexism threads.
Productivity is a terrible word.
Well, yeah.
Output.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Usage.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so what everybody been playing?
Probably I'll start with Arclight. We'll save GTA for last.
Yeah. We'll save
GTA
for last. Arclight, what you got?
The Wonderful 101.
Now, as somebody who does not have a particular fondness for Japanese, fiction and culture and everything, is there anything in this game for me?
Did you at some point in your life love Power Rangers?
I did.
Then there's probably something for you to get out of this.
What about Beautiful Joe?
Yeah, there's definitely some Beautiful Joe in it. Like if I recall hearing like the jump animation for some of the heroes, like Wonder Red is like kind of like Beautiful Joe's. I mean, just the general tokusatsu styled superhero style of it is just really spot on. I mean, obviously the look of it's not as like thick outline comic book style like Beautiful Joe was, but it's that same sort of vibe.
I read somebody saying that this game is like uniquely set up to not be appealing to reviewers. That it's not the kind of game that you're meant to like play through once and experience. You're meant to like play through it again and again and again. Like it's skill based to try and get better at it, and that's not really conducive to like positive reviews or people that have to play games for a living. Do you agree with that?
Accurate. Yeah.
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 Also, hello guys.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh.
Hey.
Fat Mac found his voice again.
You weren't here.
And he's no longer a silent protagonist.
Yep.
Yeah, his pact with Angelus was broken and had to kill her.
What?
Brian, you get a new mic or something? You sound pretty different. You sound different. Did you get a mic or something?
Just using the external webcam I brought with me because I just listening to previous episodes with another one I was using. The quality on that one wasn't as good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Wonderful 101. It is like the first run through, or I guess what I should say, like the first half hour, first hour of it is definitely like for anyone just not familiar with it is going to feel really, really lost. This is because like even like when you start out, you have less options available than you did in the demo. Because you go through the prologue, which is, like even without the stuff yet, it's very easy to like get platinums on all the different segments. But as soon as you get there, like you don't have, like Unite Guts or Unite Spring, which are like the block and dodge buttons respectively. And those are very, very crucial, yet the game does not immediately tell you, hey, these are important skills to have.
You said it. I kind of zoned out for a minute because I was checking Giant Bomb. You said it. You said those skills are not like important skills it doesn't really tell you about.
Well, yeah. It's not like it's like going every step of the way to like sort of like. Well, I guess there is like sort of like as a visual indicator like in the shop of like a P-Star, like this little flying robot that joins you kind of next to it. I guess that sort of signifies that it would be a useful skill to get. But yeah, it's more than anything like it is very much about just like buying what you think it is cool and just practicing with it, just experimentation.
Yeah.
So, the game came out, obviously I had played the demo of it on the Wii U several times, so like I was familiar with like how to control it, like how to go about getting high combos and fast times and missions. Like so I played through operations 1 through 6 all on Sunday, and then the next day I finished the remaining with 7 through 9, and then the epilogue. And it is a long game, by the way. Like there was like reports coming out like a couple months back saying like something like them saying that it would probably take about like roughly 20 hours on someone's first run through to get through the game. And yeah, it was like according to like the play log on my Wii U, like I had finished it in like 19 hours and 2 minutes. So that's pretty close.
Yeah. Is it very much an action game? Or I know you're playing
very
100.
Very much an action game.
Well, I mean, what do you think is like kind of the end game of Platinum games? Do you see them just putting out, the Wonderful 102 and Vanquish 2 and all this stuff, or do you think they're gonna like try and move into more like not necessarily Western, but more like substantial, like longer tail games?
I don't know. Platinum just seems like they want to do whatever they want, really.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much been their goal since the beginning, and just kind of continue on from like what most of those guys at Clover did.
I guess I shouldn't say that since they did do Okami. That was a fucking long ass game. So.
Well, yeah, Okami is like just a personal favorite of mine. I love that game.
I never played Okami. That seems like one of those games that I should have played.
It was the better Zelda game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out the same year as Twilight Princess, and both featured like playing as like as a wolf, and yeah, Okami was the better one of that.
How long is it?
It's pretty long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
It's about 40 hours. It's pretty.
40.
Yeah, like JRPG kind of length.
Well, JRPG length usually falls around 50 to 60 or more.
Yeah.
Unlike most JRPGs, though, Okami remains interesting for the entire length of the game.
Yeah, and Wonderful 101 does the same thing. Like, there's, obviously, like, Kamiya's last game was Bayonetta, and that was, like, very, very much focused on, like, the intense, moment-to-moment battles that, like, the occasional like genre shifts, like changing into Hang On or Afterburner or whatever like that. First time through was cool, but like it's annoying on replays just because it puts so much emphasis on like the regular combat. Whereas Wonderful 101, like the combat in this is deep, but I feel there's much more emphasis on like mixing up the game as much as possible. between like using your Unite morphs to interact with the environment, or turning into a shoot 'em up or some other homage to a old school arcade Sega or Nintendo game or something like that.
I'm sorry, Unite morphs?
That's what they call it, Unite morph.
Could you explain this, or is this one of those unexplainable JRPG things?
Unite morph is basically, okay, so as you can expect, like, the game's called Wonderful 101, but like in game, like the task force that you are a part of is called the Wonderful 100, and their Sentinel suits allows them to combine into a variety of shapes called Unite morphs, and these are basically your weapons. They'll all combine into a hand to create Unite hand, and it can be used for punching and other melee attacks.
So you're just like, but I mean, how does this? So are you just a giant hand wandering around the city? Or?
No, the player that you have as the leader for that Unite morph, still is a human, but he wields everyone as a giant fist or a giant sword or something like that. They actually, funny enough, they do have explanations for it, like in game, for how it's formed. But it is the most ridiculous pseudoscience bullshit ever. But it's amazing that they went to as much detail as they did.
It sounds
I have a
like
question.
sounds
I feel
like
sorry for the guy that had to write that text.
Poor JP. Poor JP.
So who's the last one? The last one. What's the Wonderful 101? Who's the one?
You, the player.
Well, there's two interpretations of that, and the last one is a spoiler. But the first one is you, the player, is the 101.
I'm the Wonderful One?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel so special.
Yeah.
What's my power? Unite? Can I turn into a bowling ball or something? Or...
Turn into a giant elbow.
Yeah.
It sounds
Crash my elbow onto the people.
It sounds like Gurren Lagann levels of craziness.
Yeah, well, man, Operation 9.
Do they have a
You
giant
don't
mega
even
drill or
fucking
something?
know. You don't even fucking
Are
know.
you throwing galaxies? Do they ever top you throwing galaxies? Do you throw
No, but
universes?
do you want me, or do you not want me to spoil the entirety of Operation 009? Because it is the most fucking craziest thing I've ever seen in a video game, let alone Platinum games.
Is it a ripoff of Cyber 009?
Like crazier than even the finale of Metal Gear Rising.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. You want me to just spoil it right now?
Spoilers for
Yeah,
Wonderful
yes.
101.
Okay, spoilers for 101. Make sure to timestamp this so people will know if they even have the least bit of interest. All right? And go. Okay, so Operation 009 basically starts with the shield that's protecting Earth from the invasion has been destroyed, and the alien armada is making its move. The last thing you have to do is get to this giant space cannon that has been orbiting disguised as a comet, and you need to get to it and manually activate it to destroy the fleet. So you do that by getting in this giant robot called the Platinum Robo. Yeah, they use Platinum a lot. It even has the Platinum logo on its forehead. You're charging towards the ship. You grab one of the giant laser ships and hold it under your arms, and it turns into fucking Space Harrier. It's even more Space Harrier than one of the genre shift segments in Bayonetta was, which to be fair was more Afterburner, but it had the Space Harrier music. And it's pretty incredible. You get to the cannon, you activate it, and you start blowing up every single ship in the Geth Jerk Armada. But then you think that's over? Not quite. Basically kind of similar to how the space-time continuum shatters in Gurren Lagann, space breaks open to reveal the machine world Jergenga, which is the leader of the Geth Jerk. You have to make your way over to it and inside it, and then
this has been sounding very phallic from the beginning. But...
Let me continue.
Giant penis at the end.
As you make your way there, you're accompanied by another party that has been fighting you throughout the game. The space pirates known as the Gaizok, with their leader Prince Vorkin, who is basically the Jean equivalent of the game. He's been your rival fights throughout the campaign. So, and not only does he and his pirates join you, but you also get their different Unite morphs, or I'm sorry, Unify morphs, as they refer to it. Yeah, but they still basically function the same thing. They have their party members, just turn into a weapon that they use. So once you reach Jurgenga and get inside it, you find like the brain, who on top of that like has a single eye in it, so already a Mother Brain reference, and is voiced by motherfucking Steve Blum. And as it reveals, the reason that they're invading Earth is because 1,500 years in the future, their race gets completely boned by humans who form the Greater Galactic Coalition that has become super corrupt, and the wonderful 100 of that future is basically going around and exterminating worlds. So they've gone back in time, essentially, to wipe out humanity so that they can save their own future.
They pulling Galactus shit up in here.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like the brain itself like gets out a giant wonder mask and like gets.
Does it turn into a T-Rex? Shoot giant laser beams at you?
It does not, no, but like but as far as like the head piece goes, it does kind of look a little bit like Mother Brain. And so yeah, you fight it inside the exterior shell. Like it's kind of getting confusing to refer to it because the machine world, like the giant Unicron-esque kind of planet, is Jurgenga, as well as the brain inside. So you're finding the brain inside his body, and once that is done, you escape and you think it's over, but no, the planet fucking transforms into this world destroyer Jurgenga, and then you have to like keep fighting against it, and it keeps going and going and going. You think it's over, but it's like, no, fuck you. I've still got energy to fight, and is preparing to basically like launch a gigantic laser that will destroy the planet. And then you get I seriously have to look this up. It is like the most amazing fucking like finishing move ever named. Like it's 25 words or something. Let me find it. I know it's on TV Tropes.
Well, Akbar has joined us.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's saying anything.
He's just speechless at the amazement.
Yeah, he's speechless about the Gurren something planet monster thing.
Basically, Platinum Robo takes the Virgin Victory, which is the ship that has been transporting the Wonderful 101 to Wonderful 1000 to its mission locations. It turns into a giant laser cannon, and along with with other supporting ships.
Hello.
Hey.
Wonder Red.
I have a question.
What?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait till I'm done. Wait till I'm done.
No. I actually, I'm very, I here I
Wonder
am.
Red charges at the laser and says, "Final, ultimate, legendary."
Akbar, I can feel that. I can feel that, Akbar.
Galaxy, Big Bang, Little Bang, Sunrise, Starlight, Infinite, Fabulous, Totally, Final, Wonderful, Arrow, Fire, and then
Giga Drill.
And then at that point, it is
the heavens. He is talking about Wonderful 101.
The greatest use of button mashing since the finale of Metal Gear Solid 4.
All I know is
Akbar. Listen, I have been listening to this whole thing, so I'm going to fill you in on my interpretation of it. Okay. So basically, what there are is there's this group of 100 Power Rangers. They're not called Power Rangers; they're called Unite Morphs. All right.
So the people are called the Wonderful.
This is my interpretation.
Let him.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So they're called the Unite Morphs. All right.
Like the sound.
All right.
And all of these Unite Morphs can morph together to make like giant hands and feet and elbows and whatnot, and then they like patrol the galaxy. All right, looking for this evil dude. Right. And then what happens is later. There's the main bad evil guy whose name I don't know, it's something stupid.
Jurgenga.
That's the one. He is in space, and actually he's from the future, and in the future the Unite Morphs have turned evil, and they are now like they're like the bad guys ruling over the galaxy in the future. Only they're like unitologist morphs.
And there's a phallic cannon going into a space portal somewhere.
I got that. That's about where I jumped in.
Yeah. And a planet turned into a ship or monster or something.
I mean, I just all I know is I'm sitting here, and then you guys say you should come on the podcast, and then there's just a bunch of fat fucking nonsense dropped on me the second I drop in.
You should have gone on sooner.
I know.
It's fairly nonsensical in the first place.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, Wonder Red like calls like this giant like 25 word final attack before firing the cannon from the Virgin Victory, and it is like the greatest use of button mashing since like crawling through the microwave corridor in Metal Gear Solid 4. Like it is, like not only are you basically mashing the hell out of the A button to fire the laser. Wonder Red and all the other wonderful ones are also mashing like whatever button they're using to fire. Like this is why it should have been I feel like it should have been a video podcast like it was last week, just so I could have shown you just how it is. But you could probably guess like how you would usually hold a controller and just mash the shit out of the button with your index finger. It is incredible.
Anything else?
Yeah, it's just
anything that makes more sense.
Well,
I like weird things, but that just sounds. I don't.
There's a lot of like similarities, like as far as like combat stuff goes, you know, besides the different United.
What I saw about that game in the quick look and videos that I've seen actually looks really fun to play. I'm not gonna lie.
It is fun.
But Jesus, man.
And isn't this all one chapter of the game?
Well, the operations are like split into 3 levels. Like the exception being Operation 7, which is only 2.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Operation 7. That makes sense.
Oh, now yeah, that was
all the numbers.
the missing link.
Because I think Red and Black wanted to bring up Diablo.
Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo.
Yeah.
Again.
Well.
Third time coming. Diablo.
Diablo 3. Devil.
Diablo.
It's just the very last thing I can probably say about like Wonderful 101 after like describing you the amazement of Operation 9. Like that more than anything cements this game of the year 2013. Fuck everything else, GTA 5 included.
What sense,
Bombs launched.
I'm pretty sure GTA 5 is going to be a little bit better than that. But let's move on to Diablo.
After what I just described, I think you'd be hard fucking pressed to come up with something.
I don't know. There's some weird stuff that goes on GTA 5 too, so I don't know.
That Life Invader mission might be mission of the year.
No,
Yeah.
well, I'll get to it when we actually start talking about GTA. But
Have you got
not exactly what it's
Let's talk about it. Whatever.
Yeah. Have you done the hold on a minute? Have you done the Strangers and Freaks mission of GTA 5 where you fight? Where Michael smokes weed and then goes and fight aliens.
Yes, I have.
As a
that
person
could have been in Saints Row.
has no affiliation with marijuana in any capacity. I'm just gonna go out on limits. That's not what happens when you smoke weed. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's not.
You could speak from experience.
However, I will say the part, Trevor, where you can huff gas out of the rag.
Yes.
That is a fairly accurate experience to what happens when you huff gas.
I can speak from experience in that one.
Yeah, you wake up 12 hours later in the middle of nowhere screaming, "Mama!" That's exactly what happens.
I also
But
live
we can talk
15,000
about
miles
that later.
from the desert, and that happened to me.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. Diablo 3, Spanish Devil.
The Spanish Devil.
You know, I'm a big fan of Satan. I really,
I think we could have all figured that out.
People just understand. Mexican Satan is better than American Satan.
like most things,
Tastes
Mexican
sweeter.
stuff is better than most things in America. But yeah, Mexican
Satan is pretty interesting. It's got 3 pairs of boobs.
What?
Mexican Satan.
Satan needs to be in more video games. Ever since, Carmack and Romero stopped putting him in their shooters, there has been a real dearth of Satan.
Satan is in a lot of video games, dude.
He's
Yeah.
not really.
I think.
No, he
Alex took up
totally
that-
is. He's like in every video game.
Name
Atlas
video
took up
games
that
that
mantle.
Satan's in.
Yeah, name a
All
video
of
game that actually
Persona,
features
all
Satan.
of like the
Not-
Devil Summoner stuff.
But that's
The
definitely
entire
Satan.
Mega
That's
10
just-
franchise.
No, it's
But
totally
that's-
Satan. It's
That's
Satan.
that's something called Satan. That's not real Satan.
No,
That's
that's very
Satan.
much. That's very much.
That is very much
That's very
Satan.
much.
You can summon
the
Satan if you
demons.
want.
Surprise, Satan does have 6 titties.
What's his name?
Well, not in Nocturne. No, but in
Okay.
Nocturne, it's very much Lucifer. He's the prince of demons.
Yeah, and also
He's-
there are sometimes they just call him the devil, or there's the times where he's like the devil, but they don't call him the devil, but it's pretty fucking obvious that he's the fucking devil, you know.
Wait,
you
you're
know,
talking
you got
What else
like
has
this
the devil
game?
in it?
No,
I haven't played. I don't think I played a video game this year with the devil in it.
I know.
Darksiders has the devil in it, but they don't call him the devil, but he's totally the devil.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. I want a named Satan with
Well,
with horns, if possible.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like, Satan is in fucking everything, dude. Like, okay, I know there's another game that came out this year that had Satan in it. I can't remember off the top of my head, though. But there are tons of games that have Satan in it. My argument is falling flat in its face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More Satan.
Satan is in a lot of shit, dude.
More Satan!
That's right. Always more Satan.
Give him all Satan.
Never dead.
No one's played that
actually,
game.
I haven't played that game. Is Satan actually in that game, or are you just saying that?
I don't
Yeah.
know. He might be in it.
That game literally is Satan.
Yeah.
There's a high chance of Satan being in that game. Isn't he like a demon hunter?
Is he?
You know too much
Demon
about
Hunter?
Never Dead. I'm about to say that right now.
there's Satan
I don't know.
or Luke.
There's Satan.
Oh, I'm not gonna
We're
click
all
on
Satan.
the YouTube video. I'll just assume it's not. So anyway,
Satan's a cool name. I just want to say that.
he's not as cool as Diablo.
It's a very metal name, Satan.
Diablo. So I have a thing about that. So this is set 25 years after Diablo 2, right?
Yeah.
If they were going to start, if their previous town had been terrorized by Diablo, and they were all going to pick up and move and start a new town, why did they name their town the same name as the town that had been terrorized by Diablo?
Well, I mean, like,
Attachment.
it's just... Yeah.
Like,
And what else are you going to name it?
try and hide it a little bit or something. Or name it like, I don't know.
Happy Land.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whimsyshire. That's what they should have done. They should
Whimsyshire. Hello.
have moved the whole town.
What's happening to Red and Black?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're dropping out.
Did he mark that, if you can, if you're marking?
What I said was they should have moved the town to Whimsyshire.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Whimsyshire is kind of a fucked up place, too.
It is, but it doesn't seem like that would not be the first place Satan would look.
And it's kind of hard to think of something.
Yeah, but there's
called
like killer
Whimsyshire
unicorns
as fuck
in
up.
Whimsyshire and everything.
Yeah, I guess. So I played a lot of Diablo 2, and I
What's
really
Diablo
liked
2?
it. It's like a more user-friendly version of Diablo 3.
Oh,
What was that?
I don't
that was
know.
Diablo.
Yeah.
Diablo is
Went to Fat Mac. So now Fat Mac is possessed by Diablo.
This
Yeah.
podcast is fucked.
I love Diablo.
I really appreciate how they made Diablo 3, like Diablo 2, everything has like this kind of sense of permanence. You know what I mean? Like when you level up and you like dump your stat points into a category or you like add a new skill on the tree, like everything you do has a sense like you're committing to this change like for all time. And like Diablo 3, everything has that sense of like you can change around and play with stuff. Like
There's always that respec option.
yeah, there's always the respec
Because,
option.
like, the respec option is literally just changing armor in that game.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
just changing your skills and rune sets, and like it's not like you had to constantly like level up a tree. You don't have to like put points in one skill to have the ability to get the next skill on the list like you did in 2. I like it's a rare thing where I appreciate both systems in both games. Like I don't think that one is necessarily better than the other, like inherently. I think that it's more fun to play Diablo 3 because you don't have to like start a new character to like see how the different skill sets are used. But yeah, I really like that they made the whole game not seem quite so, not make all your choices be like this is the only time you get to make this choice and this is a permanent decision.
Yeah, that kind of makes some games impenetrable, especially older games, or at least hard to get into. But at the same time, I don't know. I guess there's something to say for picking an option and sticking with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why I like. That's why I said I like both. I like both of those systems. It seems like they like. from the beginning they said, well, Diablo 3 needs to be something like, it needs to actually be a different play experience than 2. Not like the moment to moment, like getting loot and equipping new stuff, like keep that the same, but like the larger like character building kind of play systems, those need to be different. It seems like they from the ground up decided to do that in 3. And this week they also canceled the real money auction house, so you guys finally got your wish.
Yeah,
Finally.
I
Are they
can
gonna
play
make it
Diablo 3.
They're gonna make it a game you
Diablo.
can play offline.
I don't think they said like we're not. They said
We're not
like,
going
we're
to
not.
sell you shit anymore. You can't
No, they
make
said-
money.
Well, they said they're going to take off the real auction house, but they're not sure they're going to add an offline mode for the game, even though the auction house is there. So.
Nice.
And I mean, obviously, there's still the fake money auction house is still going to be there too.
I almost would rather buy it on console anyway because I'd like to play one of those games with a mouse and with a controller, because I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be able to adapt to a controller really well.
It really
I don't
works
know.
well.
Those games work well with mouse and keyboard too. About to say.
Well, they do, but I mean,
I'm
just-
using a controller.
I get it. Yeah.
It's just that you're like much more in direct control of your character than you are just guiding it with a mouse click.
There is only
I don't
like
know.
I was playing as a witch doctor, and there is only one like skill that I think I would rather have a mouse than just have direct control.
I find some joy in just clicking the shit out of monsters to watch them explode. That's my joy with those games, just watching stuff explode. Well,
I think
click on mouse
I think it
on
really controls just fine with direct control
yeah,
and
I
control.
also
Probably.
think I'm starting to get a little bit of carpal tunnel problem, so I don't. I'm avoiding mouse and keyboard games for the moment. So maybe that's another reason.
I think you should play it. It's definitely a lot of fun. And when I first got it, like I hadn't played it on PC or whatever, so I got it and I was all excited and I was, I wanted to learn about all the gear, so I went to the Blizzard forums and I clicked on the gear forum or the items forum to see like, oh, where's the best gear? Where can I farm it? And the whole first page of threads, every thread had the words price check in it. So the fact that they're canceling the auction house seems like
Yeah.
good.
That was-
good. Out.
That was probably another reason why I would have gone for the console version.
Yeah.
60 frames per second be damned.
Also, you get hella good loot in the console version. Like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
I got a lot of legendaries.
Same.
I saw your podcast. You said you had a complete, every slot was filled with legendary. I haven't gotten quite that many,
Yeah.
but I've definitely got like at least 24 legendaries, including stuff I can't use.
It's ridiculous.
It's fun though.
Yeah, it's kind of. But I mean, like, at a point, it's like, I kind of got, like, I don't really need these anymore. There are way too many.
Well, you can
Yeah.
save them for your
How
next
can I
character.
hold all these legendaries?
It might have been funny if they would have cut out those whites and blues like Nick's wanted so bad in the console version. So he'd have had to go buy the console version if he wanted that.
I wouldn't do that. I'd have that
Friggin'
very high.
asshole mocking me in the middle of a podcast. Anyway, move on.
The whole
Whatever,
summer's
it's
at
worth it. So yeah,
Nick,
Diablo 3, great game. Everyone
Yep.
should play it.
I'll
there's-
probably play it.
So,
Alright.
it's really, I don't know. I think Diablo as a name for your character doesn't really fit anymore in this, like, world, I guess. If that makes
What do you
sense.
mean?
What do you
don't
mean?
Like,
know.
in the current day, it's kind of weird.
That Diablo is in a title of a game?
No, the character Diablo, like the world that they created, like all the other demons are like Baal and Asmodan and
Mephisto.
yeah, and then it's like, oh yeah, and there's Diablo.
Is
Like,
he,
everything
is he
is-
still the big bad guy?
Yeah.
He is.
Well,
But I mean, like it's like you have all these like kind of creative like demonish names.
do you
It's
want
like I don't know, Spanish for devil.
Do you want to just name him Diablo and Friends or something?
No, I'm just
I
saying
don't
like
have much problem with just because like
Diablo
Baal and
just-
Mephisto are already like demon names that have already been made before. So
Yeah.
like they're
Oh,
yeah.
so it's
but I
not
mean,
like they just made up those names
Well, no,
for that
it's
game
not-
and just happened to use Diablo. So I think
Diablo
like,
just
using,
doesn't.
using
it's
Diablo is
just-
fair game.
But no, and that's not my problem. I think just Diablo isn't very fitting with the rest of the names, like Asmodan and Baal and everything like that.
Baal is mentioned a lot in the Old Testament. So,
I'm not saying
Mephisto
no,
is-
I know that they
too.
exist. What I'm saying is, like, those are
They
Latin
exist.
names, Yeah, and then I don't know, Spanish for Lucifer. Like all these other ones get their actual names, but not Diablo. Diablo has to go by the Spanish version of his name.
Does
should make
Diablo sounds cooler?
It does. They should make a
No, I think
mod where they
Lucifer
replace
sounds better.
all the demon
Nah,
names.
fuck Lucifer. Diablo's better.
They should make a
I
mod where
always
they
think
replace.
I always think of Lucifer as some like guy that's a devil. I never think of him as
Because that's what the devil actually is.
What's Red and
Well, I
Black
don't
got
want
to
to be
say?
a guy. I want to be a fucking demon, devil demon.
But that's what Satan is. He's just like a fallen angel.
Well, I don't want him to be that. I want to be a giant monster.
They should make a mod. They should make a mod for the PC version where all the demon names are replaced with names like Steve and Doug and Mike.
Doug has returned.
And the model for Diablo is just replaced with Louis
I
Cypher.
don't know. Have
Like
you
they
seen the
human
latest-
like one of the human versions of Lucifer in the Shin Megami Tensei games.
Have you seen what Diablo looks like in that game? It's got some pretty sick tits.
He's got six
Anyway.
of them.
What was that about? What was that, Fat Mac, about? You don't want Lucifer to be a high-ranking angel that fell from heaven.
No, I just don't want him to be a dude. I don't want him to be a giant monster.
But that's,
Well-
that's what Satan is. He's not a giant monster.
But I want him to be a monster.
His name has something to do with light.
Yeah, he's
he
always
is-
referred to as an angel of light.
Yeah, he's
Well,
not
yeah, he
necessarily
was
a
like-
dark guy.
It's just that's just like his way of being able to deceive people.
Oh, he also just fell from grace.
Well,
He's
yeah.
also just well, if you're taking like Dante's Inferno for account, he's just as much a prisoner in hell as anyone else is.
The game Dante's Inferno?
No,
No.
Yeah, the game.
Oh god.
The hit game.
the 14th century epic
That
Dante's Inferno.
great game that I played for some reason. I don't know.
It was actually like perfectly fine. It was
It
just
was
everyone
horrible. It was so
It
bad.
was not that
Ah,
bad.
It was really
No,
bad.
But
It
in
was
Dante's,
okay.
in Dante's Inferno,
It just looked so uninspired.
he's
Yeah.
just captured and held still, and he's always chewing Brutus, Cassius, and somebody else. And Virgil and Dante have to climb up him. It's very anticlimactic. You want to talk
Then
about
Dante
a
says,
version of
"Fuck you" for 10 hours, and that's it.
Huh?
That's your interpretation of Dante's Inferno, the hit video game from 2010.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 2010. Because I want to say like it was like it came out somewhere around the same time as Darksiders.
And God of War 3, I think.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
it
it was 2010.
Okay,
When did God of War 3 come out? 2010?
2010.
Yeah, early 2010.
I thought it was 2011.
Maybe. No.
Maybe it was late 29.
No, it was definitely after that.
Yeah.
God of War 3? That came out
2009.
before 2011.
There's something called the internet that we can find this on.
Fact checking
Just
ruins
follow-
podcasts and
Just
friendships.
follow giantbomb.com. Yep.
If you start to fact checking, you're gonna get hooked on the drugs.
Okay, I won't fact check. Well, I already fact
2010.
checked, but I won't tell you.
2010.
See, he told you.
I could have
Yeah.
told you that.
There you go.
I already knew it was 2010, but I checked anyway just so I could validate myself.
Are we gonna like vote on?
As a human being.
Are we gonna vote on a best depiction of Lucifer in games or something?
Yeah. Which Lucifer is the hottest video game?
El Shaddai.
Does he have to be named Lucifer, or does that? Can it
No.
imply that
Which
he was?
which video game has the
We say-
hottest devil? The 10 hottest Satans in video games.
See, you should
One
be
in
a
essence,
writer.
four.
Sean.
Before turning into actual Satan?
Number 1, Diablo in Diablo 3. It's got hella boobs, son.
God damn it.
All right.
Lucifer in Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Chid McCoy.
Shut up. Anyways, Red and Black, play any other video games?
You don't know Lucifer has a bunch of
just
different
Grand Theft Auto.
aliases throughout the
Oh, what's that?
games.
What's Grand Theft Auto? Is that like an indie game that just came out?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
kind of like Saints Row, only a lot better.
Fuck you.
Well then.
I don't know if I abide with that, but
Nah, I think GTA is probably a lot better than Saints Row.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, I really love Saints Row 4, but GTA 5
yeah, I
is-
want to play Saints Row 4. I
Yeah,
may
that
enjoy it
was
more than
here.
GTA. I don't
All
know.
right. So actually, you know how a lot of people are really afraid of going from Saints Row 4 to GTA 5?
Yeah.
And
I don't know if they were afraid, but okay.
I saw that.
Well, hold on.
saw
I was,
my roommate
when I
try-
say afraid, I mean like in terms of gameplay, because the way like Saints Row 4 worked with the running and the jumping and everything like that, where it kind of said "fuck you" to like driving anymore.
If that's
Yeah.
the kind of thing that makes you afraid, I shudder to think what like walking out at night does to you. But whatever.
You know what I was disappointed?
Yeah, they were afraid that the gameplay in GTA 5 wouldn't feel as good because of what Saints Row 4 was like. When I say afraid, I don't mean, oh God, I can never leave my house again. But, you know, just like I'm afraid that like GTA 5 is going to feel antiquated in comparison to Saints Row 4.
Maybe a little
I'll
apprehensive.
say this: like watching my roommate play
Apprehensive,
that
sure.
game, like with him just like messing around in the open world. Like I saw him a couple times, like try getting on top of a car and like having it go drive while he was riding it. Like as soon as like moved like a few feet, like he just ends up ragdolling and falling off. And that was the first thing I was disappointed in. No proper car surfing
In GTA
in
5?
GTA 5.
It's
There's,
aiming to be, I don't want to call
Yeah.
it realistic, but it's aiming to be.
Slightly realistic.
No, it's not.
Realistic.
It is not. It is not realistic.
I
at
just
all.
said in
Those
video game
rampage
in
missions-
video game terms, okay?
No.
Slightly. There's at
I
least
cannot-
a level. There's
I
a
can't take
level
that
of
game
realism
seriously
that
at
they're
all.
going for in
No.
that game. There
They-
is.
they-
How is car surfing not realistic?
It's very not realistic. Have you ever tried to car surf before?
Yeah.
Fall right off.
But what I was trying to get
Whatever.
at is
I don't care. I
it
want
was
I want
interesting.
what looks fucking badass.
I actually had less fun replaying some parts of Saints Row 4 than I did after playing GTA 5. Like I kind of missed driving in Saints Row. I guess it was weird.
Yeah, there's something about like picking up a really good-looking open-world game like GTA 5 or Just Cause 2 and just driving along a road.
Well, their fake Pacific Coast Highway is kind of freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Wilshire Boulevard with all the palm trees.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Or driving around the mountains. Like
Yeah.
it's just a fucking great looking game. It's
Yeah, it's really good
Yeah.
looking.
I have gotten a motorcycle and climbed up, drove up the mountains, and it just,
I just drove up that with like a little tiny car. Then I drove off the side of it
yeah.
and tumbled down because
Driving up vertical surfaces is a lot more forgiving in this game than it did in GTA 4.
it's so easy. Like
Yeah.
any car is like a 4-wheel drive car. It's kind of
Yeah.
amazing. Like you could just go up an entire mountain in like the crappiest like little sedan that you find.
Hmm.
It's so good. And then you can customize your parachutes too, which is also great.
I haven't gotten any parachutes.
Yeah, I
yet.
haven't bought a parachute. I got a plane. One of the first things I did was go to
Steal
the
planes.
southeast corner and pick up a plane and fly up north.
You can apparently get that 747 that they saw in the quick look, and we're like, oh, there's no way you can fly that. Apparently, you
fly-
can actually.
You can fly
Yeah,
a
you
big
can
ass
get
plane.
Yeah.
You can buy
Which,
airports and stuff. So.
Surprised that hasn't got a lot of publicity yet.
I don't think there's a building tall enough that you could reenact 9/11, though. I think that's the
No,
key
but I
there.
think it's more along the lines that you can hijack a 747,
Yeah.
which
If there was a building tall enough, though, it would.
Yeah.
you would be
Where are
seeing
those-
stuff?
I'm
about
amazed that people these days are still being surprised at like whatever like weird, crazy, controversial thing Rockstar does in a GTA game.
well, it's not necessarily controversial. It's because they're not really out actively saying you're gonna recreate 9/11. It's just that you can steal a 747, and it's just kind of
I
like
know it's just people making a big deal out of something that I think is like going too far or whatever. It's like why are you so
Yeah.
surprised? This is fucking the Hauser Brothers.
Has anybody?
And I
actually
guess
made
there's a
big
difference,
deal?
but I guess there's a difference between hijacking it and stealing it on the runway. Like you're not a passenger and then the plane's in the air and then you stand.
no.
Yeah.
Has this,
Now
has
that
this game made
be-
any
Well, there-
big deals yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Because there was that naval shooting the same day that it came out. People were already.
Oh,
Yeah, but that was bullshit.
I don't remember them referring to GTA for that one. Though.
They weren't referring to GTA, but they were referring to violent video games, the corrupter of youth.
And then they showed Actually, I think they showed roll of Grand Theft Auto 4. when
And
it was-
I would not feel good if any kids played this game. It is fucking brutal.
Like that thing in the quick look for the Hot Wheel game. Should I get this or GTA 5 for my 8-year-old nephew?
Nothing.
No, you should probably buy them Forza Horizon.
Get him a Wii
I
U
saw
with
so many
Wonderful
fucking
101.
kids in my line to pick up that game. I was fucking horrified.
Thankfully, I only saw one kid and he was 16.
All right.
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
like
16 is probably fine.
8-year-olds and 10-year-olds
Yeah.
are like, "Mommy, I want this game." Like, no, don't get that.
Don't get that for him.
Oh,
Whatever.
God.
A kid needs to learn about life sometime. Why not in Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah,
No, I'm not-
I'm not-
I advocate the
Man
playing
beat
of
the
good
shit out of a
quality games,
meth head.
but god damn it, like control what content that you're gonna be exposing your kid to. Jesus
It's like,
Christ.
No,
You wouldn't let your kid
Fucking
watch
you-
an R-rated movie.
you fucking
So
grab hookers' asses in that game. It's fucking
yeah, that mini game.
that mini game.
That is not the part I'd
Yeah.
be concerned
Yeah,
about. a
those-
kid seeing.
Gonna love that
The
mini
boobs
game.
on those strippers are the complete
I mean,
opposite of.
You
Nips
just
are-
They'd be
throws
so
the money
different
out.
if they just gave it to a Japanese developer. They would
I love that.
bouncing all over the
I
goddamn
love.
place.
I love that making it rain is like $6. Like that's
I
not.
know.
I know.
That's not roll. No, that's not. No, not enough.
And I really do enjoy though that the impression level for the girl of that does not like increase at all when you do that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's like $6.
Yeah. Like, come on.
The notion that trying to touch her while the bouncer isn't looking is a game, dude, that's a dangerous game to play, man. You can get
Yeah.
beat up real quick in the real world if you try and play that game.
Yeah, but also
Yeah, just
But-
showing them, like cutting to outside of the strip club, the door opening, and then like 2 or 3 bouncers like tossing your ass out of there. Yeah, like that's probably tame
but I
compared to
think-
what would happen. In the
I
real
think
world.
with Trevor they should do the opposite.
Just have Trevor throw the bouncer out.
Oh, getting thrown out of the building like 2 heads or something.
And Trevor respects women, so I don't know. He
I
does.
love that. That's so good. His first line.
All right, I'm gonna say my
Did you
biggest
just fucking
problem
call
with
her
this game.
bitch.
Yeah.
Did you just
All right,
disrespect women?
Okay, are we? I guess this is just going to be Grand Theft Auto segment now.
I'm probably
since
the
we're already
weirdest-
on it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
probably the weird version of this, so I don't feel comfortable going to strip club as Michael. Like I have to go with Franklin or something. If
I
wanna
can't.
fuck-
Yeah, I could not do anything strip club
Yeah.
related with Michael. I
That's
felt really
really
weird.
weird. So in.
I mean,
I have a family,
aside
I have
from
kids.
like his like one-liners or whatever.
Yeah, but it's like, have you ever-
annoying and tiring.
I've jumped into him a few times, and it's kind of implied that he was going to places to like cheat on his wife.
So the first thing.
Yeah, he said that they have an understanding or something, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
like, it's one time, like, I jumped into him, and he's like literally walking out of a hotel, and he says, "No, I can't do this. I can't do this to her." And then he walks out.
So I went into the strip club with Michael, and that's the one whose number is stuck in my contact. And then as soon as I got out of that, I went and did the mission where that tennis coach runs out of the house, and Michael goes and chases,
Nice.
pulls the car down, pulls the house down.
Sly dog, you.
Which stripper
I
was
felt
it? Was
terrible for afterwards. I was like, I probably
was it
shouldn't have done
Fufu?
Oh, I love Fufu. Me and Fufu, we have a connection going on.
I couldn't take Fufu on a date. That was the worst.
I can get with Fufu with Franklin. It made me sad.
Yeah.
I got I have Trevor, and I think with like, oh God, what was her name? Jasmine or something? Juliet, I think.
Did you ever do the double lap dance?
Yes.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah,
Some
but
of the
my
animations
roommate
that
got
they
that.
made those girls do, like
Yeah.
those were pretty intense, man.
Is this motion captured?
Okay.
No, it was obviously not motion captured.
Yeah.
We hired
Because their
these real
joints do not
strippers to
move.
do this.
He hired
motion-
these people missing certain bones in their body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could bend a certain way.
This woman's wrists have been
contortionist or something.
fused at a right angle, so she can't actually move her hands any. But that's who we got to do mocap. So
That sounds like it wouldn't be hard.
We
to
already
strip
blew
her.
our budget on all these other things. We couldn't
blew
make the
our
strip
budget.
club videos of the same quality.
But
Get it? He said blue.
with me in the stripper game is I don't actually watch the strippers at all. I just have my eyes on like the small opening in between their breasts and the door,
Yeah.
so I can.
Just so you can see where the
Sir?
bouncer is.
So I'm not really even looking at the strip club dance. I'm just like eyeing for the guy at all times.
The
Just
bouncer's
putting-
turnaround animation is pretty bad too, because
Yeah.
he walks forward and he stands still with his feet planted on the ground and spins around.
yeah.
He doesn't walk around. He just spins like he's on a turntable. or
I
something.
also like how you get like a little text alert whenever the bouncer shows up.
Yeah.
It's just like tweet tweet. It's, oh, my GPS tracker. Thank God I put that on him.
Man,
That feels like a
so
mini game in a
stupid.
Japanese game or something. I don't
It
know.
is
Also,
so
I have that
fucking
fucking
stupid.
first class song like permanently stuck in my head.
Listen, I think this is the best radio station, except for the talk radio. I don't like the talk radio station too much. I like the redneck one, the Blaine County one,
Oh
where it's
God,
like
have you heard Chakra Attack?
Yeah, I don't think it's that funny. Really, I
Chakra
don't.
Attack's so good.
No, I like the racist chef lady, the like Paula Deen woman who's
I
add
just love,
bacon, butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, lard.
We're gonna fuse Eastern spirituality with Western gang values. Which is just
That sounds ridiculous.
And this guy just flips off at everyone, and he's trying to, and then he just teaches them how to meditate like a second afterwards.
I thought it was Tibet. They had mountains and grass and sheep and played rugby. I think that's Tibet.
She is literally flying off the ground.
See, that is the
Cynthia
other
is
thing
literally flying
about-
off the ground. Actually, no, I'm still on the ground. She is raised 6 feet in the air.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then you just,
I don't think it's that funny.
it's pretty funny. The thing about aliens is really good too. Do they have I haven't really listened to talk radio a lot. Do they have like a AM coast to coast thing in that?
I haven't heard it yet, but I haven't listened to much of the redneck one, so they might have it there.
I don't like the music selection.
I love this is the best music they've had in a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely better than.
I don't know. GTA 4 still has an incredible soundtrack. So.
It does, but this is so much better.
Well, I mean,
West Coast Classics is pretty great.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So is the 80s rock one is pretty good too.
it's all right. There's like
The 80s rock actually, it's weird. It feels like 80s rock.
It is weird, yeah.
It feels like it unlocks music because at the start of the game there really isn't a lot, but once you get really late, there's like a lot of it. Like it pops up nowhere.
You know the mission where you have to go, where you're playing as Franklin and you have to go to, is Franklin Lamar and some older guy in a white shirt.
Older hood.
Yeah.
The OG.
I got in the car when I was coming out of ammunition. I got in the car and it was starting to play Def Leppard's Photograph, which I thought was the funniest thing. It just had these gangsters talking like.
You guys listen to the radio stations for specific characters?
No, I'm always going to the 80s rock station because that's the only one that has anything that I remotely
Really?
like.
I don't know because like whenever I play as Michael, I always listen to the 80s rock or one of the.
I do. Yeah.
Funk. If I'm listening with Franklin, it's always modern pop, West Coast Classics, or the regular rap station. And if it's Trevor, it's usually like the alternative and the metal one.
There's not really a metal
country.
one.
The country station's really good too.
Yeah.
The country's okay, but I don't really like country music, and I don't think Trevor is a big country guy.
I can't listen to the metal for too long.
The metal
I want a more full-on metal station. That's what I was really looking for.
And also, the funk station is the only one that kind of is consistent with all of them because I feel like all of them would listen to funk.
But I don't like rap. And there's like, how many rap stations are there? Like 2 or 3.
There's only like 2. There's only 2.
I mean, come on, the West Coast Classics is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like rap at all.
Oh.
I liked Fort Minor's album, some parts of it, but that's about it.
Well, that's not really rap, so.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
No, the West Coast Classics is like.
Yeah.
That's like the way to play that game. Like there is something very cool about getting one of those old convertibles and just like slowly rolling down Beverly Hills and listening to like Nothing But a G Thing. Oh God.
Also, the like regular soundtrack's pretty good too. Like some nice.
The ambient. Yeah.
Yeah, some of that is really good. I never like can tell like.
Would they are like doing it specifically or not?
Yeah.
Like when you're on the mission, I don't. Yeah.
Well, when you're like in gunfights, then the music kicks in. Yeah.
Well, there's that, but then sometimes when you're in the car, it'll just be playing some like cool like bass line or something, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be listening to if like the radio's turned off or just not working or like.
Like if they turned it off for like that specific moment, I think they do that a decent amount.
Well, sometimes they pick a song, but you can change it. I think sometimes. Like.
There's the one time they picked the song for Trevor when he decided he wanted his angry music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's my favorite Trevor moment. The one where you have to go to that farmhouse and kill the O'Reillys or whatever they are.
Oh yeah, you burn their house down.
But what I love is when he first gets in the car, he just goes.
Spoilers.
And like doesn't say anything. He just screams as loud as he can for like 30 seconds. It's great.
Man, that's the thing that I wish my roommate
that
got
they have
to in
for
this
Trevor
game.
is goddamn incredible.
He sounds a lot like Johnny Knoxville in places.
Yeah, but he's so good. Like, he totally, I don't know, like, for what he's doing as a character, he takes it so seriously and does it so well, it's kind of, like, weird.
It's a hard character to do because the swings in that, you have to, like...
Yeah,
the
he's
swings
almost...
that character makes are really hard to nail down.
It's almost like, cartoonish, and if you would have gone,
It
like,
is
a guy...
cartoonish.
Well, that's the thing,
Yes.
but, like, because of the guy that they got for it, like, because he's actually, like, doing it well, it actually comes off as somewhat natural. Whereas if they would have gotten anyone else, it would have sounded like crap. It would have been ridiculous. I mean, it still is, but, like, in a bad way, I guess. Like, he wouldn't have fit, but I don't know. The guy that they got
I'm just glad that I'm playing as a guy that likes to kill people and likes to cause chaos and stuff.
Actually fits into the
wow.
thing. Michael.
No. So many,
See,
so many GTA heroes are like, I gotta do this crime. Like this guy's like, yeah,
Like,
I
that's
wanna do
only
it. Let's do
Nico.
it.
But, yeah, like wasn't that only Nico?
No, that's
that
all
was-
of them. Here's the thing.
Well,
GTA
separate Claude, the guy
Michael
from
always
No,
Vice
no,
regrets-
listen.
Michael likes it, but
The
Trevor's
GTA,
just yeah.
the GTA character has always been this same character. It's a guy that has been pushed to the margins of society for one reason or another, and he uses crime as a way to like build success in the world.
Well,
It's people whose society says we don't care about you, and so his only option left is crime. That's what the Tommy Vercetti was. That's what CJ totally was. That's what Nico was. And
Wait,
now
what
there's
was the name of the guy from Vice?
Tommy Vercetti.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. But well, Claude wasn't that.
Oh,
He
they
was
didn't talk,
silent.
so I don't know.
He didn't have
Claude
a
was like a psychopath, like straight out, man.
Yeah, Claude just loved it.
Yeah. When you go to the shrink with Michael, I think the second or third time, he talks about casually killing somebody on the way there, and he talks about how he
actually,
starts
that
to like it.
That actually isn't necessarily based on which time you get there. It's dependent on what you've been doing when leading up to that. It's the shrink stuff is really cool because it actually plays off what you were doing before you went to the shrink. It isn't like a set thing.
Yeah, I
I've
didn't
been
get
running
that.
over
I didn't
people,
get
so-
I
that.
haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I'd been running.
I don't run over like a lot of people when I do that.
But Michael's an interesting character because he has like
Well, he's the guy that got out. He's the guy.
exactly. He's the guy that has made success in the world, and like he's gotten everything that everything that those characters in the other games are trying to get. Michael actually has.
Well, he's like what happens to Claude or Tommy Vercetti or Nico like after those games are over if they get alive.
But that's the story that I want him to tell. Like that's what I think makes that an interesting choice for the character.
Well, I think without a doubt, Michael is the main character in that. Michael drives the story forward and everything. Depending on where you get. But it's a really interesting character because I like the idea of he's a guy that wanted to get out because he wanted to like live his family life and make sure that like everyone would die. The thing is, after he got out, he's just really fucking bored. He has nothing better to do with his life. He can't really find like any meaning or purpose to his life anymore. And the only time that he actually starts feeling undepressed or not depressed is when he starts going back into a life of crime.
When he runs into that guy's building and
the only thing he knows,
crap out
I
of
guess.
Well, it's not the only thing that he knows. It's like I don't think that's it. I think it's the only thing that brought him joy.
It's like that's who he is.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the fact that he did it for money. It's that he actually liked doing it.
And he was good at it too.
Yeah.
When I promise I'm not going to talk about sexism, but the kind of the like overwhelming desire that people wanted the female protagonist in this game. It's like there's 3 protagonists and none of them are female and everything. I think people misinterpreted that as saying like, in the run up to the game, people read that as like, okay, there's going to be these 3 separate characters with 3 separate stories, and they're only going to like occasionally like cross paths.
They're all.
That's not the case. This is one story that has 3 characters in it.
Yeah.
Like
It
it is
sounds like
one
it-
story. It's not 3 different individual characters.
There are multiple parts where they kind of branch off for like a brief moment, like a mission or two.
But it's the same story. They are all participating in one cohesive story. It's not 3 individual paths.
Yeah, it's not a Pulp Fiction-ish thing.
No, it's not. But you know what this game really like owes a huge debt of gratitude to is Reservoir Dogs. Have you guys played the spy party scene?
No.
I haven't actually seen Reservoir Dogs.
I have no idea what that is.
It's Quentin Tarantino's like first real big hit.
It's his first
Well,
direct.
I'm not talking about Reservoir Dogs. I'm talking about the spy party scene.
Oh.
I don't want to spoil it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I won't spoil
Again,
it.
the farthest I've seen of the game being played was the Life Invader mission, and that was already incredible.
Yeah, please don't spoil that.
I'm not gonna.
A lot of Trevor's stuff is very, very Tarantino-ish.
I so
Like,
want to see Trevor's stuff.
His first, like the first hour that you get Trevor, you're just being him. Like that is the only time there's a side story in that entire game. It's like for the first hour of Trevor, it's just him doing his own shit.
I really love playing another character and then switching back to Trevor, because the scenes that they put together to like when you first jump back into him, those are some of the funniest in the game.
Yeah.
Those are like.
I can't wear pants in a casino.
Yeah, like I remember like one of the demos for when they were like months ago when they were showing off the character switching. I think there was one for Trevor's where it like showed him like in a sort of like having a really hard shit like in the bathroom, like when they switched to him like in one of their demo scenes. And I was thinking like that would have been like his introduction, but hearing that it's something different and much more brutal, it's like the either one kind of fits the psychopath that is that character.
When I first switched, one of the times I first switched to Trevor, he was in the middle of an armed police chase.
Nice.
Right.
And I was just switching to him for a second to like, oh God, I can't remember. There's a reason behind it. And then I had to get involved in getting rid of the cops. And I was like, oh, fuck me. I need to get back to Michael. And then once you're in a police chase, you can't switch.
I jumped into him once and he's throwing a guy off a bridge.
Yep, I've had that a few times. It's pretty good.
The police chases, from what I've seen, like don't seem kind of that fun. If only because when the police are on your trail, like any sort of like a GPS like track to like a mission that you're trying to get to goes away, and avoiding the cops becomes the priority.
Well, that's only if you're doing a mission.
Yeah, I actually think the police behavior in this game, I think, is a lot better.
Because they have different codes.
The worst thing of GTA 4 was just always trying to like not get caught by the cops or something. Because if you did something really bad.
Because they have the circle.
Here, it seems slightly inconsistent though, because I was completely out of sight and went and hid in somebody's yard that was surrounded by a fence, and had you couldn't see inside of the yard at all from the road. But the cops
I
still
think
found me.
it's elevation changes that they can't see through. It's not a fence; it's elevation changes. I think,
and it's also dependent if you're in sneak mode or not.
As always, people searching for you can't look up or down.
So if you're like in stealth mode and hiding behind a wall, they can't see you.
But the best way to get away from them seems to be to go into one of those tunnels.
Yeah.
I don't seem to want to chase you down there. I'm still waiting for me to be driving down one of those tunnels and a train come and just.
That's why the cops don't go down those tunnels.
Me, or is it that losing the cops takes way too long?
No, I think it's way easier to lose the cops.
For me, it took so long for this one chase. We had to go into the mountains. They didn't have a car, so I had to run around the mountains.
When I say lose the cops, I mean for the stars to go down. Like once you lose the cops, it takes like a good minute for the stars to like just stop.
I have
for me it did for one
kind of, but like when they're going down, like basically you hide in an alley, and then when they're like kind of closing in on you, you like duck out and hide in another one. Like I really like that kind of. You're still hiding.
Yeah, but I mean, like if it's like a 1-star thing, and then like I'm just sitting here on the side of a mountain for like a good minute and a half, it's like I really want to be doing something else.
They need a bar that goes down as you're hiding.
Exactly, a better indication of it going down than the flashing. I don't know.
There are a small handful of things in this game that just like, especially UI things, that could have taken some like more modern cues that feel like they came out of an slightly earlier era. Like
I really don't like that you have to put your own marker when to do a mission.
I mean, it's just things Sleeping Dogs and Saints for the Third did. Like in Sleeping Dogs, you can click the analog stick and switch between objectives around you. You don't have to open the map. And here you have to pause and wait for a little bit of a load time, and then click map, and then find where you want to go, and then circle button out of there, and.
Yeah.
And then the mini map, like in Saints for the Third and Sleeping Dogs, you have arrows telling you, that are floating above curves, telling you, hey, you need to turn here.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I kind of agree. I don't think it would have worked in this game.
Like sometimes, like you get confused by the roads. Like sometimes the roads overlap and you don't really know where to go. Sometimes.
Actually, what I like in GTA 4 when you had the voice-activated GPS.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't put that in this one.
I don't know, because
but it
one
still
thing
has, like,
I really like about
map like a GPS would anyway, right?
Yeah, but I don't like I don't like staring at the mini map when I'm driving. Like I want to like see the city and like get to notice and everything. Like notice
Yeah,
the
that's why I want the curves to like.
yeah.
hog
But that takes me so far out of the experience though.
Well, I think I've already
Well,
established.
the nice
that
thing about
mechanics
GTA
don't
5
bug
is that everything is unique enough that, like, when you're driving around, you actually learn to get a bit of a feel for the city.
I don't do that if I'm staring at the minimap though.
Well, I have for the first half of that game, but I don't really stare at it that much anymore because I actually know how to get around now. You know, like I know how to get to places. I know where like the freeway ramps are for the most part.
Yeah, like that can be
terrible-
done like at a point, but yeah, like having a minimap like that, yeah, it does definitely compound the time it would take to like get to know the city.
Yeah, I have a.
So yeah, I know
I
how
have
to
a
like,
terrible-
get around at this point.
I have a terrible
so.
sense of direction, so I'm not. I couldn't.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
I'm
think
really
I'll
bad
ever,
Yeah.
memorize
Like-
how to get
Like
around.
In
I
real
always,
life, I'm
like,
bad
I always
at-
use this example. Like I like know my way around both the original and arcade cities in Crazy Taxi just because they don't have a map. Sure, they have the arrow, but you drive through it enough, you'll know.
In
what's-
real life, I'm not that good at finding where I am, so I don't want to put in the video game too. So
Oh god, don't even remind me of like when I first got to Redmond like a few weeks ago, then just having to like find where I needed to go to find my apartment.
one like it's crazy that this game has like no doors and stuff you have to get in and then wait for a load screen. Like it's insane. Like it's just a fully open world. And there's no black screen when you go into a mission 2. You just go into it and just there's a cutscene already.
Maybe that would explain like why when starting up the game it takes a long ass time
Yeah.
to load
It
everything.
takes a good 2 minutes to load that game.
I
Yeah.
guess
Like,
doesn't
every
take
time you
that
start it up.
long.
I just
Yeah,
got a
you
sandwich.
just turn it on and like get a snack or something.
One thing I absolutely love about this game is there's no menu screen except for the first time you start it up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty great.
And the transitions in and out of cutscenes are pretty good. Like
Yeah, there's
there's
no
no
more, like-
fade to black for any
Yeah.
of those.
None of that. The facial animation is really great too. Like they don't
The
look like
skin in this game looks amazing. It's so much better than before.
yeah.
Except
looks
on
way
the strippers.
Well,
way
yeah,
too clean.
like the strippers' titties are literally like just stones.
Like these titty textures are terrible.
The stripper's titties are really low poly count.
Yeah.
It's terrible titty textures, which is.
Next gen
almost
will
wish
have
they
big, better titties. That's what I'm
I
saying.
almost
right.
wish they handed that part off to like a Japanese dev or something because like boobs that
Whatever,
you
if
they
are
handed-
unrealistic.
no, if-
but
if
god
they-
damn it would be more entertaining than just having these like stiff, unmoving.
Now,
like,
if you're
No.
gonna
If
put
they had handed
titties,
that off to a
if you're gonna
Japanese
put
developer,
boobs
those
in
boobs
your
would
video
still be
games,
big.
you need to put the level of expertise and craftsman that you put into your entire open world on them.
yeah.
If they had handed this off to a Japanese developer, those boobs would still be jiggling. Like as we're talking about.
I would rather have that, to be honest.
I'm not talking about. I
No.
don't even care about like boobs jiggling. I just want them to have better textures. Because like the nipples on the current boobs are just too big, like pinkish
wait-
brownish splotches.
Yeah, let's wait for a PC mod.
yeah,
for
like
better titties.
Yeah,
that's-
textures are bad, but
Better
it's
titties
just more the
mod.
fact that they are
Clean
so
titties.
static.
clean titty mods. That's it.
Yeah. Those
So,
faces, however, are already clean, so you don't need them off for that.
yeah.
Can you imagine if Rockstar had gone to like Team Ninja? It was like, listen, guys, we looked around and we said, hey, we need the best boobs in the business. Who can we go to? And we thought Team Ninja.
That's not. That's
No,
like,
they didn't even get Team Ninja. They just like sought out Itagaki and hired him personally just to make it.
They brought him out of retirement.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
Told you I was
know that
done with
Devil's
this.
Third isn't
Y'all-
going
y'all
to
keep
time
talking-
at the
y'all
moment. That
keep
project
talking
is
about
wrecked. Why don't you come over here and help us with this thing?
y'all keep talking
Yeah.
about bringing this to Japanese developers, and all I can think about is like the beginning of that Killer is Dead quick look, and I was like, what the fuck?
Man, I
God, you know what? That's
that-
right. That okay. You know what? The stripper minigame in GTA 5 really is not the greatest, but I don't actually feel that scummy playing it.
Yeah, like
Killer is
everybody had
Dead
time
thing. I
slash.
felt scummy just looking at it.
Yeah, just
What
watching.
are you
it, I was
talking
like,
about? That's how I pick up chicks, man. You just look at them while they're not
It's-
looking at you. And
It's, God, it's so terrible. It's not even
just
funny.
such
It's
an
just
act.
creepy.
Yeah. Because at least in like the GTA 5 stuff, it's like the girl is into it. She's a stripper.
She's
Dude,
getting
I don't know.
paid, yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think
she can
strippers
fight
in
for this.
real life would be
It's
alright
so
with that.
weird just because like he's just like bopping, weirdly enough bopping his head
Yeah,
back
and then-
forth.
and
It's
then
like,
there's,
yeah,
like,
I could get used to this. It's like
She's
this.
going, she's
I
going
can't buy this as much as Franklin.
and then like Killer's Dead, you're going on a date with them and you're buying them presents, and then you're looking at their boobs and getting an erection. It's just like
it's not. You should look at.
Hey,
look
whatever,
down
man.
to-
Like, you complete one of those and you get a drill weapon out of it.
That is.
Yeah, you do. Good
Yeah,
job.
Yeah.
Piercer Evans.
I have to say,
whatever
the
though, like
GTA
the
5
gigolo
quick,
mode is like super shallow and kind of, in a way, I guess, sort of meant to be that way. I don't know. I mean, there's at least an excuse for it, just because Mondo is meant to be like a
No,
sort of James Bond.
there's not an excuse for that.
it's not a good
That's the
enough
thing.
one. That's
No.
Well,
because,
I mean,
like I
as,
said,
it's like
James Bond wouldn't
as
do
far
that.
as it making sense for that particular character, more
James Bond would actually take the girl out on a nice date and then fuck her.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
she'd
doesn't
probably
need to
be
stare.
she'd
but,
probably
yeah,
end
but it
up
doesn't
murdered at
stay
the
as a
end of it,
lasting
too.
relationship. That's the
so
thing.
it's still far less creepy, or not even creepy at all, especially when compared
Because
to
he's
Killer's
actually
Dead.
like doing something they want to do. Like it's like not a disgusting sex act for him to simply go on a date.
And he
Like,
doesn't get a drill out of it either.
oh, he totally does.
Well, depends on the movie, I guess, but
Oh, those movies are pretty good.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Killer's Dead movies.
No, the GTA movies.
Man, if only there was a Killer's Dead movie.
Oh, I haven't seen any of the movies in that game yet.
There was a good one. There was a pretentious Italian movie that was really funny as I took a film class last year.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of people aren't really big on the humor in this one. I don't know if they're tired of it or something.
Well,
I kind
sometimes it's good.
sometimes
Alright.
the satire seems a little bit half-hearted.
it is, but I do really
oddly
enjoy the just the Rockstar philosophy as we're not just making fun of one group of people, we're making fun of everyone.
Yeah, is that sort
You know,
of yeah?
no
like,
one is
sort of
safe.
nothing is sacred. I mean, and that's sort of the other thing. Like the open world kind of messing around aspect of GTA 5 from what I've seen hasn't really impressed me a whole lot. But the two things I have liked are the quality of the story missions and also the amount of effort they put into like their fake media satire nonsense. Like my
The Weasel News stuff is pretty good. Like
The stock market game is fucking awesome because you just pick up those tips from just like listening to like various people talk on the radio.
I suck so much at the stock market stuff.
Oh, it's so good. That's such a smart idea.
And
It
Because
is, but I suck at it. It makes me sad.
Except for one mission, they never tell you like this. You need to buy stock now because it's about to go up. Like you just listen for these little like bits of information spread across the radio and like
And it's
do
like
with that what
always,
you will. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's really cool.
You
of
know,
course, for me, every time Weasel Radio comes on, I'm in the middle of a story mission, so people are having a conversation over it. So
Jeff on the Bombcast was talking about, you know, like it doesn't necessarily need to be an open world game anymore. Like they could just do these as straight up missions, like just have a like level to level mission structure. And I kind of know what he means by that. Like Saints Row, I felt that way too. Like I don't need to drive around necessarily to go to all these different places. You could just send me there.
The thing about Saints Row compared to the GTA 5 is in Saints Row the Third, like the open world really wasn't that great. You know,
No.
it was
Yeah,
just kind of like
that's true.
there. But
Yeah.
I mean, in this game, like it actually feels kind of incredible. It feels like a second
Yeah.
game on top of the story.
Yeah.
mission.
I don't
as far
think
as
it's
Saints Row went, like I actually kind of wanted to dig around and cause as much mayhem in that world. Like
well, that's not what I'm. In
See,
GTA 5, I
I'm
just-
totally over that.
Yeah, me too. I am. I'm kind of over that.
But there's
I
so
feel like
much
GTA 5 is
differences.
pretty fun.
There's
It's
so
fun
much
to
stuff
do
you
that,
can
but I don't know. That's not why I go to them anymore. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, like the thing about to me, it isn't I'm going to go out and kill a bunch of people. What to me is I'm going to fly this blimp up to the top of a mountain, then jump out of it and parachute down to the side of a mountain.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Like
You know, it's not like
going on murder sprees throughout the game. Whatever. I don't feel like doing that anymore. But I've been driving all around the city and looking in all the nooks and crannies. There's not really anything there except a bunch of detail
there
to
is
the
stuff.
world.
There
and that's-
is stuff there. You have to do missions to open up the stuff to find stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like little items or something, but a lot of it's just looking for detail in the world.
Trust
and
me.
there is a ton of detail
Believer,
around this place.
believer. You want to do those missions that unlock those little tiny things, because those
Yeah.
little tiny things, once you get them, shit gets really, really crazy at the end
I
of that
know.
game.
I've
okay?
already done
the
one
end
where you
game.
smoke weed and shoot aliens.
No. The
Get better
end
than
game
that.
Are
to
you
that.
talking about the spaceship parts?
I'm talking about the spaceship parts and the whole conspiracy theory stuff that's happening in that game right now. That happens after you get all the
I
stuff.
like that guy was holding the meter from Ghostbusters while you were talking to him.
Yes.
God damn it! I gotta keep. I haven't even gone to any of this.
For as dark as like a lot of like elements of GTA 5 seem to be, I'm like kind of impressed that they also like fit in a bunch of like weird and sort of out there shit.
No. Listen to me. That game is not what it appears to be. There is a level of craziness happening in that blows like Saints Row out of the water in a really weird way.
Yeah,
okay.
I have already started to notice
that's a very high expectation.
No, I'm dead serious. It gets really, really weird.
It's there's a difference between Saints Row where weird means crazy, off the wall, getting more powerful action sequences, and having like a little bit more subtle weirdness, or I don't want to say subtle. I mean,
believable weirdness.
Yeah, quieter.
Yeah.
Quieter and more well thought out instead of just
whatever.
Have you seen the
way, it probably won't surpass the craziness that is Wonderful 101.
Have you probably not, but have you seen the Mount Chiliad diagram thing?
I have not.
No, is this the cult member stuff?
Oh god, it's not even the start of it.
Okay, I haven't done anything with the cult
There's an entire conspiracy in that game. There's a hieroglyphic in around Mount Chiliad, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a prophecy. There's something about an egg, a spaceship, the all-seeing eye, money. If you bought the special edition of that game, it came with a map, and you put that map under blacklight. There's a bunch of hidden messages written on it, like they are here. Directions, coordinates, bring $500,000 to a specific location.
So are we going to see like a Mothership Zeta expansion to this?
I don't know. I think it might already be in the game.
Wouldn't that be great if the DLC was an alien invasion?
Bigfoot is actually in this game.
Row 4.
Bigfoot is actually in this game, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that video.
I have a weird question. Does this take place in the same universe that Red Dead Redemption takes place in?
I really hope it does. That'd be pretty good.
I just want to imagine that like all Rockstar games from this gen take place in the same.
I feel like have you guys gone on the fake internet and seen that one thing for find your dead relatives?
Well, no, because
just
LA
the
Noire
internet in
is
general
actually in
has
Los
been entertaining
Angeles.
for me to see.
What?
It can't be that because LA Noire is actually in Los Angeles.
Well, it was kind of
the
wall.
Red Dead Redemption. He's talking about.
Yeah, no, I know, but then Arclight said maybe all the games in this generation take place in the same.
I guess LA Noire kind of doesn't count, but also like that's a bit more of a Team Bondi game.
Yeah, it is. Rockstar just published.
Bondi game. Yeah.
But there's Cholla Springs, like Boulevard, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you on that Find Your Dead Ancestors or Find Your Dead Relatives, like if you put in someone's name, you'll get like John Marston.
Wow.
Jack Marston. I'm not saying that is a thing. I'm just saying I'm sure that like there might be some incidental character in Red Dead in that.
Just the fake internet in that game I want to see more of.
Yeah, I've been doing that a whole
just the amount of effort they put into like that is just so dumb that I want
There's a really good one about a guy protecting your future investments, and if you give him like I think $100,000,
all I know is that
he'll store it away for after the global financial like collapse.
Yeah.
And each time you check on the website, it will save it in a different monetary system. So you'll go in and it'll be like 1 million Jamaican dollars.
Wow.
Or 50,000 like South African dollars.
So is GTA 6 going to be post-apocalyptic or something?
I don't know.
Anything.
What do they need to do? What do they need to do next?
Yeah, I don't know where you go with this game now. Or this
70s, Detroit, Chicago, or San Francisco.
No, I mean, I don't know if they can really... Well, they probably could pull off another city and people would probably buy it. But already, like, Red and Black and Jeff Gershon...
I hope it's somewhere else.
have already said that they don't quite see the need for an open world anymore.
No.
I kind
No.
of see the need. I think it's kind of essential to the game at this point.
It's still a defining thing to a whole lot of people.
And the level of detail that they put into these worlds to begin with.
That's true. That is true. Is that you can just like walk around the block and see like 20 little different scenes. By the way, they did put in, I mentioned we were talking about Red Dead a while ago. I was like, I wonder if they're going to put in those little like side of the road scenes, and they totally put them in the game. I was so
And
happy
they're
about
awesome, and they're really cool. And the
Yeah.
best part about that is like some of those will actually play in later into the game. Like I've gotten 2 heist members from those already.
Wow.
Oh, I haven't got any of that. There's totally ones that you can spot where like, help, my husband's he's having a heart attack. And I ran up there, and as soon as I turned the corner, they all pulled guns, and I was like, I know how this is going. Yeah.
They seem to match them up to characters too. Like Michael or Franklin are 2 people that might actually help somebody else. Trevor.
Lamont.
I came across
Trevor, when I was playing as Trevor, I was playing as this girl who was like running out of her wedding, and like her husband was chasing her, and like she ran up to Trevor and was like, "Please help me, my husband's future husband. I don't want to do this." Yabba dabba dabba. So I helped her.
You shot him.
No, I
do the,
I did because I didn't know what else to do. Like he just kept following me around. He wouldn't like, so I shot him because I didn't know what else to do. But
Did you
I
punch
thought about taking her to the cult members, but
occasionally,
I decided.
occasionally the game isn't quite clear on exactly what you need to be doing.
I do
Yeah.
like that though, at least in the side missions, because that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah,
No, but even on the main missions, there's one early one where you're chasing a guy on a motorcycle, and like I didn't know what I was supposed to do to stop him. Like I didn't know if I was trying to wreck the motorcycle or shoot him.
Well, was it a Franklin mission?
Yeah, it was one of the early ones. Yeah, and it turned out, like, you just had to follow him, and it would take care of itself. But like I kept trying to get up next to him and shoot him, and it just said failed.
yeah.
But
But there was one where
I'd assume you have to keep the motorcycle from being destroyed.
No, I was chasing him.
Yeah, there's also one where you're playing as Trevor, and you're covering a guy who's going to go plant a bomb on a propane tank. And you shoot a guy, and there's a car coming, and there's 2 lights shining down that guy's body, but they're really tiny lights. And you'd think that the game would, point them out better, but I couldn't exactly see, what I was supposed to, which light I was supposed to shoot out, or there was a bunch of lights around. And it's confusing, and there are occasionally parts.
I did around that mission.
And I feel like it
just love
doesn't
the
always
level of,
control as
like,
well as it should.
Yeah, I just love the level of like insanity and like creativeness in the missions. Like none of these missions were like at like this in GTA 4. Like
Yeah, the
much
missions
crazy shit
top
that
to
happened.
bottom have been like top notch. They have been so good so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
So much better than anything in GTA 4.
I feel
And
like
I was like, I didn't know how they were going to do that because I was one of those people that like open world missions. Like, what can you really do other than drive?
I mean, like I've not played GTA 4, so like not even having that sort of point of reference, I was still like just impressed in general by the missions. Like that. I guess that's just how good they are.
Yeah,
like,
they
just by
seem
any
like
standard.
set pieces.
4
Set pieces from our Uncharted.
4,
games.
4 still has. I haven't played tons of 4 either. I've played about 3 or 4 hours of it, but it still has tons of satire. But it tries to be super serious a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's just a lot more fun. And
Yeah, I just like the mission quality and the satire. Those are the 2 things that I've just been impressed the most. The open world, that like, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff to do, but yeah, it's not as it's not as crazy as something like Saints Row the Third, which is something that I personally gravitated towards.
I think it's cleverer. If it's not as crazy, it's definitely cleverer. More clever.
Oh yeah, like I certainly was not expecting some missions or parts of that game to go the way they did, even just by watching.
Yeah.
God
You guys
damn it!
have
Just
anything else to
so many
say about
interesting
it?
games I want to play.
You guys have anything else to say about it? Because I don't know.
I think it says a lot that most of us have barely played 10 hours of that game, and we've spent an hour talking about it.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
I can't fucking wait for the multiplayer. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, I never played GTA 4's multiplayer, but I saw some of the
You
Rooster
didn't
Teeth
miss
videos
much. It
where they
was
played.
fucking
I don't know.
stupid.
I had a good
Yeah.
time with that one. I had a really good time with that one.
Well, I saw some of the Rooster Teeth videos where they were playing around with it, and they were just doing stupid stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I can, if this
I don't
one
know.
is actually better made, it could be fun.
It was pretty fun. I'll say that, but yeah, not that good to play, but I liked it at the time. But this one's going to be a lot better, probably. So. Yeah.
Apparently, Red
I just
Dead's
want to
a
do
lot
heists
better.
with friends and stuff. That'd be great. Just to do heists with my friends. I don't know. That'd be insane.
Yeah, like Payday, but
We
good.
didn't even talk about the heist missions, dude. Those heist missions are great.
I've only done the first one.
I've not
Man.
seen any of them yet.
To be
Okay.
honest, I don't think the first heist mission was. It was fun. I think it was cool. I don't think it was necessarily the high point of what I've played so far. Like Jeff played it out to be.
I don't know. That was pretty fun.
It boiled down to go get this van, now go get this other van, now hire some guys, now go break some glass, grab the jewels, get out, drive away. They weren't. It was fun. I don't think it was the high point. I think the high points so far have been like Michael popping up when you first come across him as Franklin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How
Trevor's
long do you
instruction.
figure he was waiting in that car, though?
I think the best explanation I can think of is that he saw Franklin coming, guessed
Yeah.
what he was there
Sticking
for,
into
and
the
got in the
house.
back of
Okay.
the truck.
Yeah.
Of the SUV, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever explanation you could come up with for that, it's probably certainly valid just because of the experience Michael has had. Or something.
Or he could have just been taking a nap back there to get away from his family.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna find me
that
here.
That's my
too.
favorite
His
thing.
family is total shit.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible. I like Jimmy though. I don't know. He's pretty good.
I hate all of them.
Hey man,
Like-
let's bounce.
Like,
His name is Jizzle.
God damn it. Oh.
I don't know. I like Jimmy. There's such a special place in my heart for Jimmy. It's really good.
It's just a total like pot smoking slacker.
Yeah.
I feel for Michael. I think that part of his
Yeah.
problem with being bored is that his family just sucks so bad. It's like I've got all this stuff and my family is terrible,
Yeah,
terrible.
They're really bad.
he's definitely the most sympathetic of the three.
And I feel like Franklin is pretty sympathetic.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't
maybe,
really
maybe it's
care
just
about
because I was not like that interested in the aesthetic of San Andreas, but just like Franklin and like and Lamar and like all those people, I just like could not really like get into.
Lamar's the best part of Franklin because I don't really care about Franklin.
Lamar's fuck Lamar.
I
Lamar's
hate
great.
Lamar. Franklin
Lamar's
just seems like
incredible.
Franklin just seems
He's
like
so
a
good.
dude.
I
Like
don't care for Franklin. I don't know.
I
He seems so
Yeah,
boring.
Lamar is like he's like that lifelong friend, but is like just sort of like trying to like drag you into like doing dumb awful shit that you would rather not be doing. And even then, like he fucks you over like on one of your repo missions where like you're trying to get a bike back, and he's like, "Nah, fuck you. I'm gonna keep this for myself. You can tell Simeon that we lost it."
yeah, I really don't like Lamar. I like Franklin a lot though. He seems just like a
Yeah,
regular
me too.
dude.
He feels sort of
So you
sympathetic,
could-
but yeah, I guess just that sort of. I
who
guess
you
that
could-
sort of background of his that's
Fuck
not
Franklin.
really
It's all
interesting.
about fuck Franklin. It's all about Chop right here. Chop.
Yeah, Chop.
Chop.
Dog of the year.
Dog of the year.
Chop versus Call of Duty dog.
Man.
Not even a
Definitely
contest.
Chop.
Chop would probably hump that dog. He would
Michael
probably
Vick
hump it.
Simulator 2014.
I laugh like in a mission like when you like having Chop and then just like out of nowhere he finds another dog and just starts humping it. And my roommate who was playing it at the time just shot the dog that he was humping.
Benny did that too.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I wish I did that though. That'd be great.
I'm sure there's a lot of GTA 5 talk to be had.
I just like
But do
being
we-
Franklin and making Chop just bite people. That's great.
Do we want to move on though?
We should probably move on.
What else is there to move on to?
Fat Mac has a few.
Once you
things.
go Grand Theft Auto, you can never go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all
So
need to play Wonderful 101.
if I had a Wii U, I'd play it.
Play it by
I have-
any
I have
means
a-
necessary.
I have a strong rule to play every Platinum game, so I may have to abide by that.
Yeah, but especially since there's that and Bayonetta 2 coming out, so you've got 2 reasons to get one.
Yeah, I gotta play Bayonetta too. So this week I've been playing Gunpoint. No,
Is that
Yeah.
game like finished?
yeah, it's finished.
Okay.
It's really fucking good. Holy shit, it's really really good. Like, damn, dude, that game is really fun. So it's a stealth game, but you have like this cool mechanic where you have this I don't know how to explain it, but it's like basically like a grappling hook where you can just smash into windows and people and beat the shit out of them. You have to do it stealthily, like you don't have a whole lot of options when you're like trying to get information and stuff. And there are a number of ways to do that, but mostly effectively is just to try to, the other mechanic is that you can hot wire electrify different cables. Like some things open doors and other ones turn on lights. So you can put a switch that turns on the light and make it open a door that can only be opened by guards. So you can press that button and it opens the door, so you can get into different rooms. It's really, really imaginative, and just the way you move and the way you like. I don't know. There's just something really fun about it. It's really short missions, and it doesn't take a whole time to like die and restart. Like the save checkpoints are really good, and it's really, really fun. Like the music is great.
Is
Yeah,
that the
it-
game? Is that the game? I think I saw the quick look of this where, uh, I think Patrick was playing it. He ran and jumped and grabbed somebody and flew out a window all the way to the
Yeah.
ground and just
Yeah,
started
he-
beating the crap out of him or something.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I remember that. Thinking that looked like a lot of fun.
It's really a lot of fun. Like it's not a tedious stealth game. It's very much a stealth game, but it's very forgiving and very like you feel like you're doing a lot of awesome shit, but still like in danger of stuff. So you have to play cautiously, but also you can just swing your way to victory. Basically, it's really
You
really
can't go
fun.
nuts, but you got some
Yeah.
wiggle room.
You got to do some precision, but overall you can do some pretty crazy shit in that game. It's really fun. It also has a cool spy vibe, and I like the dialogue options. Like some characters are really stupid in that game, so you kind of have to like try to appease them, or else they'll get angry and like I don't know if it has any story consequences, but it's a lot of fun with the dialogue. It's really really hilarious at times. And like some missions, like you're trying to cover up something because you accidentally got into a like you were visiting someone, but the person got murdered, so people think that you're the murderer. And some missions are trying to like expose the truth of that murder, but you're like, I don't know,
Is-
I
is
don't
there-
want to do that mission. It's
Is
bad.
there an overarching story to this?
Yeah, there's a story. Like you have to cover up the truth of someone getting murdered, but people think you did it. But so there are the missions are trying to take away the truth of that, and then some people want to hire you to get that truth of them. So you don't really want to expose the truth because people might think you're the murderer, but you kind of have to do it since it's your job as a freelance spy. So a lot of interesting dialogue in that game, and a lot of choices too, like in Mass Effect. Like you have simple
Yep.
choices to. Yeah. And most of mine are replies just fuck that, like I'll do it. That's it. That's
How
crazy.
comparable is it to Mark of the Ninja? Like, are they similar games at all?
Mm,
I mean, they're both 2D.
I guess,
2D
but
stealth.
Mark of the Ninja, yeah, they have different mechanics that make them different, and just overall tone and theme of it is really different. So I don't know.
But it's no
I don't-
Thief. But then again, what is?
Yeah, I guess so. But the electronic stuff is really interesting because it really feels like a sandbox nature stuff, like trying to mess up with different like mechanics, like trying to find the right way to do this stuff with the electronic device is really interesting. So that isn't found in Mark of the Ninja. Mark of the Ninja is trying to sneak away and escape. While this one you can use the electronics that you find to your advantage, which is really interesting. So, I don't know. It's a really great game. I love the spy and the music is great. It's very noir spy fictiony, so it's really I really want to be here and play it. It's really good.
All right. So, is that it on Gunpoint?
I guess so.
That's all.
I've also played SMT4 for the 3DS.
How far have you got?
How much has the tutorial kicked your ass?
I died a couple of times. Not gonna lie here. I love that they made up some type of fiction when you die, and some like weird white-haired guy's like, you gotta.
Yeah.
Charon.
That was convoluted, but that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Yeah, but it gets kind of annoying by the end of the game. Of course, at some point the game becomes so trivially easy that you're not seeing him all that much. But
Yeah, I can see that. I died a couple of times, but I played Persona games before, so I kind of knew what was going on. But it's a lot more tougher, and you can die pretty easily. But
so
eventually, I got alright. But only
So
the bosses have killed me. Yeah.
speaking of comparing this to Persona, how many other SMT games have you played not Persona?
This is my first one, actually.
All right. How do you feel about the differences? Like, do you feel it's a very different game? Or...
Well, I guess the theme of it and just the tone of it is very serious and very like dry. I guess like very different from Persona. Persona is not a lot of fun, but it's more anime-ish. I'd say like very like. I don't know.
Persona's more anime-ish.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
more like yeah. No,
I
SMT
thought you were
is
saying
very-
this was.
No, it's very serious and very. I guess like religious. I'd say very like thematic to very different cultures and stuff like that.
Yeah. They definitely. It's all about mythology. Like SMT games have always been about mythology, especially Christian mythology or theology or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
They take a lot from that.
Yeah,
For sure.
different sub-series will obviously focus on a different aspect. Digital Devil Saga focuses more on the Buddhist, Hindu side of it,
I think that's just Hindu.
or whatever. Yeah, Eastern mythology.
For sure. So yeah, just that kind of stuff. Overall, also, I guess the combat's a bit different. You don't have a party; you just have demons. And my favorite part of it's definitely the demon negotiation talks, which are pretty hysterical. Some of the dialogue's pretty funny. I put this on Twitter, but my favorite dialogue was basically like, "Are you a monkey?" Which is indeed, or I'm a human. The first time I picked I'm a human, and like, oh, I'm gonna eat you then. Like, I'd feel bad if I ate a monkey. So
Yeah.
Trick question:
second time-
monkeys are humans.
Yeah. Yes. So much of so much of figuring out the dialogue in those negotiations does come down to just picking them and seeing what works.
So the second time I put, indeed, I am a monkey, and he said, "Great, I've always wanted a monkey pal," which is probably my favorite dialogue of any game this year. Just
I don't know.
also, there are really dumb.
I don't know. I really enjoy hearing "homie,"
Yeah.
after every sentence that Franklin says.
Also, there are some dumb demons which basically talk in all caps, like "I'm hungry."
Yeah.
Yeah, there are plenty of dumb ones and really
Yeah,
smart
like-
ones, and I don't know the demon negotiation thing. It's a cool idea. I'd rather avoid it, to be honest.
And just the way it's done, I guess, just because of it, like being from being a traditional thing in that series, I probably would not want it any other way.
Yeah,
Just trying to figure out what it is that makes these demons tick, even if the process of going through it can have you going in circles.
The worst part of it is like you want to be nice to this demon, so you give him stuff. Like, I want Lifestone. I want Maka. I want this. Then you just fucking take off and leave. Fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Well, yeah.
That's part of what I don't like about it. I would like a more concrete, way to tell what's going on.
The general trick with them basically is to like look at like what demon type they are. Like that kind of influences their general behavior most of the time.
That still doesn't always tell you,
Yeah.
how
But again,
things
like
are going.
you just learn to figure that out through experience.
Like, Maka is hard to come by for the first several dozen, not several dozen, but dozen or so hours of SMT4. So when you give a demon like 1,000 of it and then they go running off, that's. So, have you played Persona Akbar? I don't know if you have.
Personas? Any of the Personas?
Personas or SMT or whatever.
Nope.
But you knew about Lucifer and SMT games.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I know a lot about video games. That doesn't mean I played all the video games.
Yeah, that's the same for me.
Yeah.
Also,
there's a whole lot of my time wasted on the internet.
When they fused Satan in the in the endurance run, I was like, well, I have to look up where Satan shows up in all these other games.
Yeah.
Did they really fuse Satan? I don't remember them doing that.
Yeah, like near the end of the endurance run.
Yeah, they fused Satan.
Right, look at this. We're gonna fuse Satan.
I don't.
Okay, you kids, have fun.
Yeah.
I don't remember them using him.
They didn't use him.
They didn't really use him.
I forgot who they used actually. Anybody remember?
Now, towards the end, I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. Definitely Ghoul.
Hey guys.
I don't know.
I'm not good at doing the Ghoul voice.
My. Hey guys.
That's much better.
But My favorite was always the Owl Man.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. Just a stern man with his arms crossed and has a fucking owl head.
He's completely naked from like the head down, neck down.
Yeah.
It's like, hey Dad, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just wearing my owl head.
Yeah.
You all kids gonna play some Nintendo or something? It's just stupid.
Oh man.
So yeah, 74 is pretty good. I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm
Yeah,
not really a
it's
fan
alright.
of the story or characters. I don't know. I just don't really care about it that much. Yes.
I
I don't know. Maybe if it gets better early on or something.
I did a lot.
Tokyo. That's
I like
kind of where
that.
it picks up.
Yeah, I liked it a lot for the first
That's when Godzilla
8
attacks.
hours or so, and that last 12 hours of the game. I still think it's a good game by the end of it. I just think it goes from being really interesting and great, and it just goes on a downhill slide. It never digs into bad. Just it was
Yeah.
it is no Nocturne. Nocturne is
Yeah. Nocturne I've heard is pretty great. So.
it's also like Nocturne is also a bit of an outlier. Like most of the other games have like a focus on computers and digital stuff, and Nocturne is completely away from that. There are no
And the alignments are much different. Like pretty much all of them except Nocturne all have law, chaos, and neutral alignments.
Yeah, Nocturne isn't really clear about which one's law, which one's chaos, and which one's neutral. And I don't even think they're actually labeled. I think they're pretty different.
Yeah.
Nocturne focuses on building up a new world because it's a post-apocalyptic and you're trying to rebuild, and it's several different philosophies on how the world should be, how the new one should come about, and all that. It's very abstract and weird and interesting
And fucking hard.
Yes, Nocturne is hard. I don't think it's as epically hard as some people say it is. That game can actually become pretty easy if you.
I don't know. How much trouble did you have when you got to Matador? Because that's like the first major hurdle I always hear from people.
Matador is insanely hard, but after that, like he's the hardest point of the game.
Yeah.
Because
it's usually like if you aren't learning to like use any sort of like buffs or whatever properly, you're going to be boned.
Yes.
Is that sort of the general thing?
Yeah. The game, you don't need buffs that badly until you get to Matador, and then you get to Matador, and suddenly you absolutely need them.
Yeah.
He's a good boss, but I think he's a little bit too rough on the buffs.
At least early on.
Yeah, and after that, you're like, oh, well, I guess I better keep up these buffs. And then by the end of the game, I was more concerned about keeping everybody buffed and healed and just attacking with my main character. Because he could do damage in the thousands consistently.
Yeah.
SMT4. By the end of SMT4, though, I had Tetrakarn and Makarakarn, and I could refill mana just by walking.
Yeah, the different apps that you can get, so like for your comp.
It made it so easy.
Yeah, I've not gotten any of those on mine. Maybe I don't know. I guess just depending like on whether or not I want to keep giving myself a challenge, I'll avoid those. Like a lot of the app points I spent were just like giving myself like more slots for my for demons that I can hold at once.
I don't know if you can really beat the game without using those. I think the chakra drops are too expensive for you to beat the game without having the party mana refill. I think you really need to invest in that.
Yeah, that's been a big problem early on, just not having enough mana to do anything, really.
Well, you have to manage it. That was another thing about Nocturne, and that's actually something about Echion Odyssey 2 and dungeon crawlers in general, is managing your mana.
Yeah.
Not using something if you don't have to use it. And figuring out the cheapest way to do things. Like in Nocturne, physical skills actually cost HP. And it's hard. It was hard for me to wrap my mind around HP being less important than mana in the first few hours of that game. But in SMT4, everything costs Magic or Mana or whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
which kind of bummed me out. But that was already in Strange Journey, so it wasn't too
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, I was already bummed out when they like took out the moon phases. Like that's just such a traditional thing, like two core SMT games.
Yeah, so it's kind of tough to get into this one, and then after your thing being Persona, and then going back to this, it's weird. I don't know.
Nocturne was the one that I jumped into, the SMT game that I jumped into. So I guess that's why I lean more towards, or want to lean more towards the main series.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Persona over this so far, but it's still pretty good. It's very polished, and the graphics are pretty impressive, and the music's great. The battle theme especially has been in my head for a while now, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. Sound wise, it just definitely makes me think of the first Shin Megami Tensei game, like the Super Famicom one, which I played several hours of earlier this year.
I can't wait for the day when JRPG musicians decide that having more than one battle theme would be nice.
Now, what are you talking about? You don't want to hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, definitely?
No, I usually, like when I'm going through a longer run or something in a JRPG, I usually use headphones. Usually listen to a podcast is what I mean. Anyway, you think you're gonna finish it, or really that interested in it? Because you seem like it was like, yeah, all right, it's a fun game. And
Yeah.
Like you're still in Mikado, right? You're still going through that first dungeon.
Yeah, I'm still early on, so
Again, like once Tokyo, like once you get there, like things open up a lot more, and I definitely started enjoying the game a lot as there's a bit more exploration in that.
Yeah,
sense.
the combat's basically what I'm trying to do, and basically fuse demons and get better at that. But
Yeah.
after that, the story opens up, and I may finish it. But I don't know how long it is exactly, but it's probably pretty long.
It's a little more than 40 hours. Unless you do a bunch of side quests.
Yeah, and based on where I left off in that game, like a month and a half ago, like I'm not too far from finishing by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's a 3DS
like you
game.
got about 10 hours left.
Yeah.
10 hours.
But
How's that?
yeah.
That's only the length of your average Western game.
Yeah.
Thought it was shorter.
Yeah, a bit shorter probably.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't
Like
know.
by half.
Like Tomb Raider and Dead Space and Saints Row 4, they all seem to hover around the 10-hour mark.
Tomb Raider was longer than that.
Oh, it depends on how much you went into the tombs and stuff. Yeah, I really liked Tomb Raider at first, and I actually went back to play it recently, and I think I'm actually liking it even more the second time around.
I really like that game.
Yeah,
I love
the
Tomb Raider.
mechanics,
That was a
the
great game.
mechanics and gameplay of that game are so rock solid. Like the quick time suck, and the story is competent, but nothing special. But
It is very, very grisly. I don't know. They did a really good job of making a lot of the more dramatic and like disturbing moments actually feel disturbing, even though I've seen worse in many video games.
Just doesn't look that interesting to me.
The sound, when you hit someone in the face with the axe, the sound that it makes.
that game is it's brutal on a really primal level.
Yeah.
They capture that really, really well. Again, like technically a game like Dead Space is a lot more gruesome and a lot more disturbing, but I felt more like kind of like disturbed by a lot of the stuff in
well Dead Space, you're
Friday
just
the
like
13th.
destroying like these like ugly looking like mutated pieces of flesh, like that's not something you could really like draw from like reality.
Yeah, Dead Space is also it's a really fun game. But it's also
unlike Tomb Raider.
It also has somewhat silly levels of gore.
It does, but I mean that's not the point I'm making. I guess a better thing would be more like Gears of War, not Gears of War. Well, I guess Gears of War, would be a good one, or God of War.
Well, I know
G of War.
You can imagine someone getting hit with a pickaxe like that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
They in half in Gears of War. It's just actually kind of funny.
But I mean, like what I'm talking about is like the freaking spike through the jaw stuff in that game.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff so much. That's
really, really, really just gnarly.
I don't like it. It's fucking,
Have you seen Dread? The most disturbing thing in that movie is when a bullet goes in somebody's cheek and out the other one.
Yeah, that movie's so good though. I don't know. I think the people getting skinned alive is a little more.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. What were you saying, Red and Black?
I was like, now I have to watch that movie. I have it on
You
my
should.
hard drive.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I need,
should.
I,
It's
I, I need to see
fantastic.
Dread.
Dread's
I
really
watched
good.
the old Sylvester Stallone one last week.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Why?
Why?
Some
Well,
people,
because because I was listening to the podcast. How did this get made? They were
Good
talking
choice,
about
my
that
brother.
one.
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I like that podcast too.
But honestly, thing about watching Dread, you make sure that you can play the soundtrack. Just play that movie as loud as you possibly can.
Well, I have headphones, so.
Oh, you want that soundtrack to like kind of reverberate through your body. Like, is a really really heavy hitting like just techno-y soundtrack that is best experienced when playing it so loud that you can feel your body shake from the bass.
Yeah.
yeah.
And disturb everyone in the apartment if I
I'll
was to
have to
do
watch
that.
I kind of fucked myself up. I saw that movie the first time in IMAX. And the sound system for that, movie, well, the music for that movie is fucking awesome, and hearing it on amazing speakers like that was like a really good high and made that movie so much better than it's ever been.
I wish I
Ever
saw
could
it in
be.
the theaters. That would have been great.
And then, yeah. So now every time I watch it, which I actually watched it 3 or 4 times because it's just a really good movie, it's not as good. I'm always chasing that like high. It's like, man, I just remember during this scene, like the music was just fucking pumping and you're just really into it. And it's like, fuck. And now it's like, it's pretty awesome, but music isn't loud enough.
Yeah.
It needs to be louder.
I need the loud music to accompany these dudes getting brutally shot in the face.
Oh, this fucking the Gatling gun moment, it's so good. But the
Oh, it's
music is
so
so much
good.
better.
I'm not even that much of a movie person, but if there's a movie I want to see, I really want to see it.
Yeah.
That movie's so good.
Yeah.
That movie's really good. Everyone should see that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone see it.
You get to see that, and Pacific Rim.
I thought
That's
the
Raiders
Raiders
Yeah.
better.
Pacific
How
Rim.
have you not seen Pacific Rim? Oh my god, it's so good.
I know, I'm surprised at myself, considering that I am pretty much like the prime target for that movie.
Yeah.
half of everyone that was a prime target for it and said they wanted to see it didn't fucking see it.
Yeah.
That's probably why we're not getting a second one, you fucking asshole.
I just woke up one morning and said, you know what, I want to go see Pacific Rim, and I went and watched Pacific Rim.
Hell yeah, you did. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll probably wait until, like, it becomes, like...
It's out on Blu-ray next month, so.
Alright, yeah. I'll... Yeah,
That's just another movie.
My,
you
my
should watch on
roommate
the biggest
has a
screen.
PS3. I'll see, like, if we can, like, get it and we
Yeah,
can
that's
watch
another
it.
movie you should watch really, really loud.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I just want to see how many homages to, like, Japanese super robots they can just fit into
There really aren't that many. They're kind
Yeah.
of just outspoken at the front. They don't really see them out of the movie.
Are
They
there
just,
rocket
like-
punches?
Oh, yeah.
Are there Izuma kicks? Like, freaking, like, kicks diving from the sky?
No. The robots don't fly.
Yeah. Well, there's
Like-
that.
Well, no, I mean, like,
part.
yeah, like, you know...
well,
Like the,
They
like
don't-
the kind
they
of
don't
kick that you see
actively
in
fly.
stuff like Gunbuster or Gurren Lagann, like that kind of style kick.
No, it is nothing
no,
like
no,
that.
It's
If you-
never Gurren Lagann-ish. It's
If
there's
you're
a bit,
if you're expecting to see Gurren Lagann references or stuff like that, you're going to be supremely disappointed.
it's more Gun to Me and Manazerji and kind of Power Rangers-y and
There's some more old school, all right. That's still
Neon
fine.
Genesis Evangelion. There's actually a Big O reference, which is kind of awesome.
Oh, nice.
I have only seen the first 2 episodes of Big O. I need to watch more of that.
The Russian robot has the piston punch.
That's awesome.
But other than that, there's really not that many. There's a lot of like references to classic monster movies too, which is kind
Yeah,
of
it's
great.
more. It seemed thinking back, it seems more Godzilla-ish stuff.
I mean, there's definitely more Godzilla stuff because there's more Godzilla stuff to pull from. And Guillermo del Toro absolutely fucking loves Godzilla, so he's gonna pull from more from that to begin with.
Yeah. It's just kind of unfortunate.
I
since
wish-
I gravitated more towards the robots.
I wish the story would have been better. Like, I'm not looking for.
I mean,
Oscar
like, come on,
level,
man.
come on.
What do you fucking expect?
Come on.
It could have been better. It wasn't.
It could have
great.
been better, but you know who fucking cares? That thing has
Okay.
a chainsaw sword to cut a monster in half, man.
Yeah.
What
Okay,
else
how
can
about
you
this?
ask?
I wish the last battle would have been better.
I can agree wholeheartedly with that.
Yeah.
That was really disappointing. Though that one, the actual battle, the battle you go see that movie for, the 40-minute long one,
Yeah.
that was
That
so
was
good.
great.
That's really good.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait for the movie to come out.
Yeah, I want to see it again.
I know.
Yeah, the
Oh, what-
like the chainsaw didn't quite get enough use, but
I love how it just they. Oh yeah, by the way, this thing is a chainsword. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, it does. You can also use it as a whip if you want to. Okay.
How come they didn't bring that out earlier in the movie? I guess that's a
I know.
logical, but still.
You know, the biggest logical for me, for that scene was for me?
What?
When she said, this isn't all that it has, because of the way the rift works, he should have already known that.
Wait, what now?
Okay, so when they first bring out the sword, the lady, the main guy says, that's all we have. She's like, not all of it. And then the sword comes out. But because their minds are melded, he should have already known that the second that they might have melded minds.
Well, that's hardly the largest logic hole in that movie.
It is to me. But
You could probably,
it's still a great movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is kind of great? I don't know. Sega owns Atlas now. Isn't that good?
What?
What?
Isn't that
Sega
good?
Sammy owns Atlas now.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Atlas.
No. Atlas
Yeah.
makes Persona games.
Yeah, they bought Atlas too.
specifically-
Atlas, not
Well, specifically
Atlas.
bought Index, which was the publishing whatever that owned Atlas.
That's
Yep.
why he's no longer on the podcast anymore. They bought him and put him into slavery.
Oh shit!
Those assholes.
Poor guy.
Yeah, got him.
That's
to make
why.
it
Oh
solid.
man.
Well, this is good because, you know, if anybody knows how to manage a Japanese-based company, it's Sega.
I thought you were going to say Atlas.
Yeah, they don't know how to translate stuff though. They seem to have left PSO2 and several other things behind for people. Of course,
Yeah,
I don't know. PSO2 might be the fans' fault because almost all of the Western people who wanted to play PSO2 signed up
Fuck,
Japanese
did it anyway,
account
yeah.
and
Yeah,
played
fuck
it
them for being excited about a game, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck
Man,
you
it's
guys.
like,
You did all this shit just to play our game, but whatever. We don't care.
It's like you're already playing.
And you know, it's you know, like Yakuza 5, you know, like probably one of those important games in that series. Like, whatever. We don't want to translate that. No one plays these games anyways, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Atlas games. The only thing I'm a little apprehensive about is Sega thinking that Atlas games, like, they have a limited run here. They're not especially popular here. So I'm wondering if Sega is still going to publish them here.
I would hope so if they bought
Nope.
them. I don't know.
I'm
I don't
also,
think-
Well,
Now,
I'm
this
also
fuck you.
hoping that they
Bro.
don't do a Sonic and Persona crossover, which people already seem to be making.
That'll never happen. I'm
Well,
gonna say
that's-
it right here, right now. That'll never happen.
No,
Right
that's
now.
going to happen right now. What are you
I
talking
bet
about?
that
Like,
will- I
all
bet that'll
future
totally
Persona
happen.
games are Sonic now.
Yeah.
If Sonic is the lead character.
if it's the only way to make a good Sonic game, then fine.
Sonic
thing
just
is,
yells, Persona!
Atlas
And,
has shown that they can make money, even if their parent company can't make money. Atlas knows how to turn a profit on these games. So maybe if Sega will just let them kind of do their own thing, as long as they keep turning a profit, you know.
Yeah.
It's just the only question is whether or not if they do this, if Sega does decide to still allow these games to be localized, is whether or not they'll extend it to Europe, which Atlas has not really done at all.
Yeah, maybe they'll just give more. Maybe those games really just need more advertising.
I don't think so because they're Persona, for example, that game's problem is not advertising. That's just its tone and setting and what that game is. Just most people aren't really interested in buying right now.
Yeah, Persona
just not.
4, that in general is way more recognizable than anything else in the entire Mega 10 franchise.
And it's still a niche thing. Yeah.
And it's still a
Well,
very
I mean,
niche-
I don't know. How would you sell that? Like Jeff and Benny are two people who really don't get into JRPGs, but they ended up loving it.
no, but they're deep into video games.
Yeah, they're already too deep
Video
into it,
games.
like-
I mean, Atlas published Demon Souls. I think they did Dark Souls as well.
No, they
No.
just did Demon Souls because Sony published it in Japan, but they did not think it would be worth publishing outside, so they just left it to Atlas. It's all right, it's your problem.
Yeah, Atlas published it here. Sony's lost too because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Demons and Dark. I don't know about Demon Souls, but I know Dark Souls sold pretty well. It wasn't a
Demon Souls sold pretty well.
blockbuster.
Dark Souls, at the time of release, I think got more recognition, and just because of the the popularity of Demon Souls growing over time.
Well, Demon Souls like sold out. Like the Atlas had to print another run. Like that
Yeah,
was-
sold out probably just because there was so little to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how Atlas has made money. They keep their costs so low. They don't.
And
that
why
was
Shin
their
Megami
house.
Tensei 4 was $50 instead of 40 like regular 3DS games. They
Yeah.
like they just know the dedicated ones will like buy it. I know I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get Etrian Odyssey Untold, but I don't know if I'll have the money when
There's a
it comes
demo
out.
on it, so. I don't know.
Huh?
There's a demo on it, I think so. I don't know.
There is?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if that series is gonna last anymore, but.
Etrian
probably.
Odyssey, they seem to be like actually putting a story into this one and making it, more focused on. Seem to be doing a little bit of different stuff with it.
Yeah.
Like there's a story and set characters instead of you just make 5 characters and start speccing them the way you want to.
So on the Sega thing, I doubt they're ever going to do any crossover stuff. I just think it's like a smart move because Atlas seems to
I don't know.
seems to
I
make
think-
profit.
It's usually hard to gauge like what these sort of buyouts whatever means just because like the internet like being as it is just always like ends up making these sort of like jokey kind of predictions about what's going to happen.
Yeah, I just think it's a smart move because Atlas is a they know like their product and what makes money, what doesn't, and they sustain a profit for a while. But I doubt they're gonna do anything too crazy, and Sega I don't think is gonna.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it's just allowing Atlas to continue what they've always been doing, then everyone wins.
Yeah, I don't know about Sega USA. I don't know about Atlas USA though. I don't know if that's gonna exist anymore, but. I don't know.
I bet it will. I bet.
Yeah, they're really good at They're really good at translating, and and Atlas is a really smart company about their stuff. So
Yeah, they know they're a niche company, so they probably
play to that,
they're
yeah.
better at budgeting their games accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll
maybe-
still be around. Yeah.
yeah, maybe the AAA industry could learn a thing or two from them
Yeah,
instead of saying we sold 5 million copies and didn't make a profit.
yeah.
We have
GTA is
the
making
reverse
profit,
kind of
yeah.
going here.
I forgot to mention Neptunia games also titles that can be budgeted appropriately and like developed in very quick time frames, considering that they've had one every single year.
Just like Call of Duty, man. Come on now.
It's 2 different teams. Speaking of Call of Duty, GTA 5 outsold, or not outsold, but sold faster than Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It's made like $1 billion now. A literal $1 billion. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
They've made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And only over the course of like 3 days, which is
Yeah.
bravo.
Yeah.
Good job, man. You made a good game, so.
Yeah.
All that and not including PC sales in that too.
Yeah. That's insane.
So
And
Like-
also,
See,
not a huge. I don't know. Sorry.
Is anybody
What's up?
else kind of glad that Call of Duty finally has a competitor that can beat?
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, especially given
like-
my disdain for that franchise at this point.
I don't think.
well-
I mean, I don't know what you mean by has a competitor. I guarantee you, Call of Duty is going to be the best-selling title of holiday.
I think.
Oh,
I don't think it's gonna be. The thing that Grand Theft
No,
Auto
but-
has over Call of Duty though, is that people are gonna still be buying this for like years. You know.
Yeah, GTA.
Yeah, like, yeah, whether or not like Ghost is going to like make as much money or more than GTA 5 did, like in its first 3 days, or even by the time Ghost comes out and if GTA 5 is still selling.
Yeah.
No, GTA 4 is still like a number top 10 usually. Like it's gonna have a lot of legs.
yeah.
Call of Duty games also have a lot of legs too.
I don't have a lot
think-
of disdain for Call of Duty games. I think it is about high time they had some
Yeah.
to God
Better.
competition.
But it's not really.
And the
competition,
fact
it's
Yeah,
that-
just
it's
GTA,
not. They're not. It's not. I don't see it as competition. It's a different genre. Like it's a
Mm.
different tone. It's like it's not.
Yeah, and GTA
I'm mostly
games come
talking
out every
sales,
year,
though.
so
I mean, it's
really
not so much
competition.
about whether it's like a better game or not, but just the fact that there's some like on the sales front.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it was like from a different game and didn't have to be, you know, like EA just trying to like shoehorn Battlefield as a Call of Duty competitor, which it isn't.
That's part of the thing. Is it's a completely different game that's smartly written with a
Yeah.
different tone.
Just the concept of, hey guys, we can make a kick-ass video game that doesn't have to be exactly like this other game
and
that's
also-
a shit ton of
it only cost like $600 million to
No,
make.
it only cost $250 million.
It was
Come on.
Yeah.
including marketing. Yeah, that's including marketing.
Yeah, but also, I just want to point this out. $250 million. That is about $40 million more than it took to make the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's
but
about $100 million more than most modern blockbusters.
Didn't it? It hasn't.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, what's your point?
No, I'm just saying that's a whole.
It also
fucking lot of
costs.
money.
It also costs 5 times as much to buy a copy of Grand Theft Auto as it does to buy a ticket to the Avengers. Like,
I'm just saying, like, that's the point at where, like, a video game. I don't know. It's just completely ridiculous to me to think that yes, video game costs more than most modern fucking blockbusters full of A-list celebrities and like all this other shit that usually just I don't know. All right.
It's some of them make more money than movies. Or a lot of
Exactly.
them
Yeah.
We're at that point where like people are putting a lot of shit into this now. It's really interesting.
and the first
Like-
time it fails, people are going to be out of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. It's
You
the
can
same
look at
thing
it
with
like
movies.
that.
There's always at least one movie that they pumped a lot of money into that just flops.
Oh,
that
this year
happens.
especially, there have been a lot of flops.
Yeah, John
Yeah.
Carter of Mars.
Fuck.
Well, that was
I mean,
last
that
year.
John
happens.
Carter of Mars made its money, which is weird.
It did, but I mean,
Yeah, barely.
yeah.
Yeah, but still, it
Considering
made
the
its money back.
quality of that, like, who honestly would think that's a good movie?
But I mean, I'm not talking about quality-wise. I'm just talking if I were to come to you 10 years ago, no, maybe not 10, a little further, 15 years ago. So yeah, this video game cost $250 million to make. Be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Get
yeah.
out of my house.
Like tell me that like around the time Shenmue was being made, because at the time I remember that being the game that like people would talk about, this is the most expensive game ever made. And then like whenever I heard that claim heard again, it was when GTA 4 was coming out, like being the most
And-
expensive game ever made.
What's
But
even
the
better? Yeah, what's even better is that we can have these smaller budget, more experimental games, and they're still getting plenty of attention.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
Yeah, like
but the
even if
best-
these like high profile like insanely like large budget games end up flopping, we still got other games we can go to that.
But you know what's
Carry-
kind of awesome about Grand Theft Auto 5? It is that it's a huge, massive budgeted game that's like more or less the image of like big blockbuster, big industry games, and yet it is still like completely innovative in some ways. You know,
It is, but I mean, it's
I mean it's still very iterative. I mean it's still like
yeah,
kind
but
of following
I mean,
the
I'm
same.
saying that I don't like. I feel like you're trying to position this as like this is a trend, and I'm like, I think Grand Theft Auto is the outlier to the rest.
Oh,
of
I'm not saying this is a trend at all. I'm
No.
just saying that this is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
it may
saying-
not be the stuff they do may not be innovative, but it does show that like Rockstar pretty much has like free range to do whatever the hell
Whatever
they
they
want.
want.
Like they don't
And-
they don't
and,
feel
yeah,
it's
they
beholden to make their games the exact same type of game over and over again.
I guess the point I was trying to make is that we're at the point where people feel that it is that it is a worthwhile venture to put $250 million into a video game.
Well, only if they're Rockstar.
Yeah,
only if
in
they're
very
Rockstar, but I
limited
mean, it's-
circumstances.
I think it's a start of things to come, maybe like 10 years from now, as games get bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, that they're going to start getting that, like, of course, there's probably going to be some sort of sense of inflation, obviously, but
Yeah, no shit.
yeah, but it's still cool to think that, hey, you know, video games are getting just as much money as it takes to make a modern blockbuster movie.
Well,
But, I mean,
yeah.
I see this as like I see Grand Theft Auto as kind of the end of an era. Like
Yeah.
the way the economic model in games is working is it's obvious swinging more towards like League of Legends. Like
Oh,
they
yeah,
sold out the
obvious.
Yeah.
Staples Center for their League of Legends finals like last weekend or whatever.
$770 million.
I think that's the way it's going, and it's like that's kind of how I read Grand Theft Auto and BioShock Infinite and all this other stuff is like the entire history of games and like the whole every kind of innovation and improvement and like dead end and everything they tried in games and like and mixed with like the technology and like the visuals and stuff, like it's kind of coming to a head with games like BioShock Infinite and Grand Theft Auto and Last of Us and other stuff like that. And it feels like like we're finally getting to this like peak moment of all the stuff kind of coming together at the same time, like the market and the business side of it is moving away from it.
I don't
Eh,
know.
Yeah,
Okay.
like stuff like Deep Down, which is next gen, is now free
I-
to play. So I don't even know. what's
I
going on.
think we're going to start transitioning to more of a what the current movie like landscape is,
Yes, a
You're
handful
going to have-
of big blockbusters that hold
and
up
then everything else is going to be just low
free to play
smaller
and
budget.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
mean, but the thing is, all those like the movies that used to not be the big blockbusters, just like cool little like, didn't make 100 million, they made like 50 million. Those stories are now TV shows.
True, but that's what
Like
I'm
those
saying.
stories
that's,
have become
that's
like
what,
Breaking
yeah.
Bad. And
That's
But
what
that's what he's
games are
talking
gonna-
about with like the League of Legends stuff. It's
Yeah.
going to like the second level of like entertainment in terms of video games is going to be the free to play model.
Yeah, like
That
and like
or
with
micro
PS4, Sony has like made a big push on like showcasing these indie titles that they've got coming to their platform when it's coming out. Like like that was the crazy thing. Like when it was happening at E3, just that surprise. Like it's not just these big blockbuster games; it's these smaller, more experimental, interesting games.
I really hope we don't go all free to play though. I don't think we're gonna quite go that
So-
way.
I wouldn't enjoy that either.
Yeah, I mean, like we're just now on the cusp.
I don't know,
of games
guys.
being
Dota 2's pretty good, so I'll
more
deal with
interesting.
it.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about single player, expansive worlds and interesting stories and stuff like that. That's getting better.
I want developers like Platinum that like focus on what they do well, like great single player experiences that feel complete.
Yeah,
I agree that it's getting better. What I'm saying is I don't think it's necessarily becoming more financially successful outside of like Grand Theft Auto.
I think it is. As a
I
whole.
don't think it is. Man.
No,
I really
I
don't.
doubt it.
They definitely need to
Look
rein
at
in
Tomb
budgets
Raider.
and have more.
Well, when I say financially successful, I'm talking more from a, I guess, public outside thing. Like video games are becoming more and more prominent as a like dominant sense of culture or in entertainment.
Yeah, but if they're
Or
not
a
making
form
money,
of
they're not
art,
going to
would
get
you say?
paid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
true.
smaller games seem to be making a lot of money.
That's
not
true,
not
that's
a
true.
lot of games. I'm not talking about free to play.
No. I know what
They
you.
make plenty of money that they make their budget back.
Yeah, their budget is small and they make all their money back, like a
But
Bastion.
those small budgets are not going to make a game like Grand Theft Auto or Bioshock.
I know. I think that the occasional big game like Bioshock Infinite or Grand Theft Auto or something that they can really
Last of
sell.
Us or Uncharted or
Uncharted, they can really sell from a renowned developer. I think those kinds of things are going to hold up.
Like
the
making
small
it
budgeted games.
like making it events that you can like have once or twice or three times a year.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's your fucking summer blockbuster. That's what you're gonna get into.
Yeah. GTA 5 like definitely would have been a summer blockbuster if it had released earlier, like May, like most other Rockstar releases.
I love that like people are like so concerned that it wasn't gonna sell that much in like summer, and
Yeah.
now that it got delayed, like whatever, it's gonna sell no matter what.
Yeah. It's kind of
Grand
crazy
Theft
that
Auto.
like like
Yeah, but people are like, oh, it's usually released in May and stuff, so if it doesn't happen then, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Oh no!
But again, like
they
Grand
just took
Theft Auto
Bungie's
is
spot
kind of
this
the
year.
exception. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of games that won't sell. as
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's people are concerned about it. Like, no, it's GTA. It'll be fine.
The only thing I don't like about GTA is they put it right fucking start of the fucking school year. So
yeah.
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 Say that again. So,
assholes.
senior English major. I'm either reading or writing, and that's
Yeah.
really a thesis.
But
And
So
my
you know,
schoolwork has been pretty
GTA and all
grueling
that
as
stuff
well.
is pretty great.
well, the
Yeah,
cool thing about
pretty good.
GTA is when I went to get it, like you see such a variety of people at like for a GTA, I guess,
Yeah.
that you never see with any other video game. Like
No.
like it's such a wide like swath of characters. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Did you see
So I wonder how
Kotaku-
many of them are coming to it because, man, they can shoot down pedestrians and.
Oh, I know.
angles and
Like
shit.
half the reason why people are getting it is because they can steal cars and like
Yeah.
let out their inner demons.
Which
but-
is still kind of weird to think about. Yeah, like it's amazing that Rockstar is able to like make these like great,
half
huge,
these
grand
people are half
releases
the
for
people
their
buying it
games.
are probably never going to play
Yeah.
the story.
Like the games are the games they put out are great. I think it's like the people that they attract. I almost don't want to be associated with.
Like
I
I bet
don't
a
know.
bunch of people. I bet a bunch of
Hey,
people who were
man.
buying this game had no idea that you could swap characters.
Probably. A
Or
lot
they-
of
or
this
probably
is-
paying attention to
Kotaku
descriptions
posted a
or
great
something.
video of a guy in a GameStop getting it, not getting in a fight, but he thought the woman selling him the game was being rude because she asked for his ID.
Wow.
It's a really great moment of oh god, of the mutant nerds mixing with normal people. It's really
It's
really great
terrifying.
interaction. Yeah.
So this GTA stuff's pretty good, but we all like PC games, right?
PC games, those are for squares.
Steam's pretty good,
I wish.
and Steam is gonna announce 3 big announcements next week. It's gonna be crazy.
3 big announcements.
3.
You know,
Half-Life 3. Here we go.
I
Left
Yeah,
4 Dead 3.
Half-Life 3 confirmed. They're
Left
all
4
3 announcements.
3.
Left 4 Dead 3 is coming.
I actually would be more excited for Left 4 Dead 3 than I would be for Half-Life 3.
The 3
Me too.
announcements are all games that have 3 in them, just to show that Valve can count
That'd
to 3.
be really funny. Okay, Dota 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Team Fortress
Ricochet
3.
2.
Yeah.
So, I didn't actually get to play Half-Life 2 until 2008. But even me that played it so late at this point, Half-Life is whatever. It's so many games have come out that are so derivative of Half-Life that I don't think they could make a Half-Life game.
I don't
that's
know.
A
I
lot
think they could.
Yeah, they
a
could.
lot like.
I still go back to the Half-Life games and
The fuck
yeah,
is
I
that?
still go back to the Half-Life games on occasion. Nothing else still really compares.
No.
They still feel singular compared to everything that
Half-Life
takes
still has
some amount of
Has
elements from that game.
physics.
Don't you love those physics puzzles,
I don't
guys?
know. Half-Life
Don't you
2, you play through some of that for nostalgia, and then it gets boring.
I don't know. I played through Half-Life 3 again recently. The game's still really good at atmosphere.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Creating a world.
I
Really
didn't want
good,
to play.
like,
I didn't want to
build-
play through it again when I sat down to play. I've had the PC version for a long time, but I haven't.
Just
And I've
skip
sat
the
down and
boat part.
played it.
Just play through all the good story parts.
I love the boat.
I love the
Part's
boat
great.
parts. I love Highway 17 the most because it's just
The
a great
boat
way
part
to
is so fucking
it establishes
long.
it establishes the best atmosphere and just allowing you to see just what a horrible state the world is in.
No, those car missions is the worst part.
Fuck
No,
you, I
that's
love them.
That car
I
was so
like the
bad.
car. The car part was fun, but the boat part was way too long.
You get to play chicken with a fucking train.
I love the boat part.
Yeah, the
You'll
boat part's
say it,
great,
America.
especially when you finally do get the gunship turrets attached to it, so you can finally fight back against the fucking helicopter.
Wait a
that's
minute.
gonna
Let's
fuck you.
go back to the train for a minute. Are you saying that you can get through that? You can drive through there before the train quite gets to you? Because I
Yeah,
always hide
you-
behind
you-
the train on the
You
left.
just need to time your boost correctly.
I always hide behind the train on the left.
Well, this changes everything.
Yeah.
It changes everything.
I didn't know you could make it past that.
I've been able to do it. You got to time it just right, but it is doable.
So yeah, I don't know if Half-Life 3 is gonna be announced, but probably not.
I'm
I think
excited. I got
I'm
my
not holding my
Half-Life
breath.
3 pin it and my Half-Life 3 T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm not holding my
I
breath, but god damn it, I would love a new
I
Half-Life.
get the feeling that
Yeah.
people at Valve don't really care about Half-Life at this point. That's not what.
No, I
they're
think they
behind.
do.
I think they do, but they realize that they can't do that game again now since they Dota 2 after Dota 2's incredible success. I don't know.
I
have to be
think it's
free-to-play
more
or
of
online only.
anything that is called Half-Life 3 that comes out is going to be an amazing disappointment.
Yeah. It's
I don't
never
know.
gonna live up.
I said that about Portal 2, and Portal 2 still shocked me. So
No, but
Portal 2 did not
have
have-
distance.
Portal
They-
2
like,
did not have
8 years or whatever.
Portal
Yeah.
was like the perfect game for me, and I didn't want another Portal, so they still shocked me. I don't know.
But you didn't have, you
Unpopular
didn't have
opinion,
so many
I
years
actually
of,
like.
you didn't have
I
so
don't
many
know.
years of hype building up in
I like
I mean, the
Portal
time
2
between
now.
now-
I like Portal 2 now, but I thought Portal was perfect at the time. But Portal 2 was
I like
better.
Portal 2 more than I like Portal. Just putting it
Yeah,
out there.
but at the
Yeah,
time,
I like
was
Portal 2 a
incredible,
lot
like,
more.
Rare.
Portal 2 has better writing.
And
Yeah.
puzzles. I like the puzzles. And as well as the co-op.
Yeah,
Portal
Portal
2 only really had that big reveal at the end going for it, besides the gameplay.
Yeah.
Who keeps
Yes.
banging their mic?
Yeah, what's going on?
That's you, Fat Mac.
I'm not doing anything. I don't know.
Ghost.
It's the ghost of Ghost yet.
He's haunting this podcast. Fuck.
That asshole.
Motherfucker. So at least he's not like a Nyx.
I'd almost rather have Knicks.
No, did you see the stuff with the what Twitter account was it again? The God damn it! Now I'm fucking it. Anyways, we get tweeted out by a community Twitter account, whatever. I think it was Zombie Pies, and then he immediately shit talks them after we thank them live on the air. Fucking asshole.
All right. Well,
We got any mail?
huh?
We got any good mail from last week?
I haven't checked. Anybody feel like checking?
Let me go. Check right now. Give me a second.
Oh, just very briefly, Hiroshi Yamauchi died. It's sad.
Really sad.
Oh, wait, that's true.
Yeah, that sucks.
Rest in peace, you glorious angel.
Although it's almost, I guess, sad, Mike, is that I'd almost forgotten he existed until that news came.
Yeah, he was.
Like, I had no idea what he had been up to since.
So he was president of that company from 1949 to like 2002.
Yeah, and then
so,
he got
yeah, so he was like 21 when he got the job of CEO.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, from his dad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
About him, made the NES and helped shape Nintendo. So.
Yeah.
And
All
then
right.
was in charge of
So-
the long decline. What you got, Akbar?
We got an email from mail, no reply at google.com. Hi, C, meet the new inbox. Inbox tabs put you back in simple organization so that you can see what's new at a glance and decide which emails you want to read when.
Well, thank
Organize
you.
into categories. You can choose from 5 optional tabs: primary, social, promotions, updates, and forums. These categories make it easy to read messages of the same type all at once. Easy to customize. Select the tabs you want from all 5 to none, and if you see a message that you want a different tab, all you have to do is drag it and drop it down in the tab you choose. Get the inbox on your mobile device. The new inbox available in Gmail's official mobile apps on Android 4.0 Plus devices, as well as iPhone and iPad. Your mobile inbox notifications show as primary email. It's easy to access and keep track of other categories.
You can't just middle click whatever you want to go to a new tab.
No.
Well, that sucks. I'm not.
Clearly,
to learn
the
more
answer
about
to
the
this
new
question
inbox.
is Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Is there any other emails?
Happy emailing the Gmail team. Let me see.
It was Mr. Zhang Young from last week.
Mr. Zhang Young still asks, Chinese character, question mark, dash, 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 dash. Did you get my proposal?
No, I do not want to marry you. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's that proposal that he proposed.
Apropos. Nothing.
Yep.
It's Prince Vorkin. Surprise.
No emails besides that.
It's who?
Prince Vorkin, it's a character from Wonderful 101. He's the rival character that you fight.
We have a comment on our latest video.
From who?
Fat Mac, stop banging your mic.
I'm not doing anything.
From
Yeah, you are.
Manateel47. Why should I be watching this? Why am I watching this? You are
Because
all
you love
communists. And then Jack, I can't remember pronounce his name. Ghost Yet says masturbation.
Yeah,
Of course.
pretty
And
much.
That's about it. If you have any questions or comments or general misgivings that you would wish to direct towards us or our beings, please email us at giantbombcommunitypodcast@gmail.com or write in the comments of this YouTube video or just write to our YouTube thing itself.
It's funny that it is still that name, yet we've already changed the name of the actual podcast the Bombs launched.
Bombs launched.
It's tradition. You got to keep it the same.
All right. Are we done? Are we ready
That's
to?
what happened.
Anybody else have anything else to say?
I believe
Say
everything-
now or forever hold your peace.
Diplomacy has failed.
Bum, bum, bum. Love is over.
Team, unite up.
Is there anyone to fuck this week before we go?
Lamar.
Can we just change it to fuck
Fuck Lamar.
you, because saying fuck doesn't come across very well.
I have a different definition of the term fuck list.
It's just not, it's not right. Something's off about it.
doesn't
Just put
mean what
a
I
U
think
in
you
there.
Yeah.
No, the fuck list.
Yeah.
No,
you know,
that's not what a fuck list is.
The
No,
fuck
it's,
list.
that's something slightly different.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, fuck
Yeah.
Squall.
I mean, in most cases, just saying fuck is like a generally like directed towards someone in a negative way, but though without like directly saying it to their face, which is what fuck you would be used for.
No, you want to put the U in there. Trust me when I say that you want to put the U in there.
Oh wait, fuck Nix.
Yes,
No.
please, no. I'm kidding.
No, don't.
I'm kidding.
Fucking Nix is on the fuck list.
And if only Nix was here just so I'd have someone else to like also talk about Wonderful 101 and convince you people that it's the greatest game of the year.
Okay, I stopped watching Gurren Lagann about 6 episodes in. You're not going to convince me that this is particularly
Watch.
to watch.
The rest
You are
of
that
Gurren
you are the most
Lagann.
boring person in the
They're
world,
the
and
worst.
never want to work with you again.
Yeah. That's over.
Where our business relationship is over.
You people suck.
You didn't fulfill my contract.
Mm.
Again, diplomacy has failed.
Phone chat's failed.
Hey, Red and
Right.
Black, do you remember when we mentioned Bakano and you said you might watch that? No?
Vaguely, yeah.
Vaguely? You never watched it?
No, I didn't. And then somebody mentioned Perfect Blue, and I was going to watch that, and I didn't watch that either. So.
I've never seen... I want to see Perfect Blue. I already know some of the twists, and they seem really interesting and really weird.
All right. Goodbye, Red and Black.
Cute.
All right, believer.
See ya.
Say something.
What?
Good night, Akbar.
I never got to say
hot,
hey, y'all.
hot coffee mod.
Good night, Arclight.
Diplomacy has failed.
Critical
Told me
mission
just now.
failure.
You've
Goodbye,
already said...
Mission. Goodbye.
Love's over.
Danger's coming, looming large, so who's gonna make a stand? 100 rangers are taking charge, the line is drawn in the sand. Knuckles crack in 200 very different ways, but each and every one has got the same thing to say.
Unite, Morph!
Because their hearts beat as one.
Unite, Hand!
And put the bad guys on the run. When the job's too ominous for an average Jill or Joe, they go anonymous and watch their powers grow. Got no fame or fortune to claim, fighting for the status quo. Don that mask and take us to task. Hurry now, it's time to go. They can do it, 'cause they're Super Sisters and Bros. The unstoppable, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Evil's coming, and you need a savior to appear. 100 rangers will take the lead, they gladly volunteer. Way up high, and you sliding out in outer space. 200 eyes like fire, looking danger in the face.
Unite, Morph!
A single heart going to blame.
Unite, Sword!
They dish out justice in space. fills the